think it's loud. Is it loud? I don't know whether it's loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. Hello. Good eve, morn, whatever else. Yeah, hello. How we doing? We doing okay? We doing well? Hopefully so. Down with the Newfoundland? Tracking fast. How you doing? Yeah, got to be fair here, you pretty much did a terrible job as Army in Warhammer. Soviets said it correct, you used to be good. What happened? Well, basically, what's happening is, it's Soviets' fault. I hope that's all the information you need. Yeah, well, basically, I'm running around with my warg, or my little, my wolf, and I'm fucking running from continent to country, backwards and forwards, up and down, chasing Thorgrim. I'm knackered all of the time. And he's like, here, I know you've just run like 100 leagues, but can you set up a very, very sort of high-stakes assassination attempt on an enemy Thane? Thanks, bro. Love you very much. You know what I mean? It's like, gee, I'm knackered. You know what I mean? Oh, good God. Brilliant. Right then. So, let's have a look. Oh, who's studying for finals? Marines, hoorah. Damn straight. Fucking studying for finals. How's Alaska doing? The fucking tsunami. I know, for anybody that doesn't know, if you want to know, there was apparently is it a Richter scale 7.9 earthquake in Alaska? Let me have a look. And it's caused a tsunami, or it's generated a tsunami warning. And they're telling everybody to get at least 100 feet above sea level. So it's pretty big news. Yeah, 7.9 magnitude earthquake off Alaska, just outside of Kodiak and south of Anchorage. Big stuff, big stuff. Running me ragged, exactly. Right. Let's see, so we're going to be doing some cold waters today. I'm just sort of mixing it up, that kind of thing. We did a couple of... concepts. Thanks very much, mate. He's very kind. It didn't pop up. Did it pop up? No, it's popping up in the wrong spot. Everyone panic. And Joe will fix it eventually. There it is. That should be fixed now. Lovely. Cool. Cool. Sorry. Sorry, 15-year-old Joe there shining through. Cool. Fucking pigeon. Right. Let's load into the game. I actually really like the soundtrack for Cold Waters. I don't know why. There's just something good about it. My voice. I'm 13 years old. My voice is cracking an awful lot. Right. We're going to be doing some very serious cold watering today. I feel like taking it very slow, doing it very thorough-like. So we're going to be doing it sort of by the book. And maybe shoot a few whales along the way. Who knows? Who knows at this point? So let's load up the game. Let's change the game capture scene to Cold Waters.
Oh, yeah.
Eternal 4245. Thank you very much. I remember you were going to skip this week entirely stream-wise. Not entirely true, Terraindor. This week I do have some stuff to do, and my evening streams are going to be a little bit sort of in between, because even though I do stream, I am really enjoying. Like, I don't watch very. It's kind of weird. I don't watch very many of Soviet streams. I drop in every now and again to say hello, how are you? But I don't watch them very much, and I really liked it. I don't know if there's any people old enough to remember when he used to play XCOM 1, and he used to take people with him. That was really good stuff. I used to really enjoy watching that, and the Warhammer stuff basically appeals to me for the same reason, because he takes people along and it allows you to get sort of invested in a character. So it's one of those ones. While I do have stuff to do in the evening, I do try and set some time aside for watching those Warhammer streams, because I've never watched one of his Warhammer streams before, so this will be a first. It should be some good stuff. I haven't seen the game yet, but any good? Which one? Cold Waters? Well, I'll leave you to make that decision for yourself. OBS has had an update as well, which is actually really fucking good. If anybody remembers, has anybody ever seen OBS Studio as a window? Let me show you. Let's add a window capture. Basically, they've added this, and again, you may or may not be impressed by this. Can I not set it as its own window? No? Really? I can't set OBS as a capture. I guess that makes sense. Let me, in that case then, just go straight to display capture. Here we go. If I drag this sort of... Oh. Well, that clearly isn't right. Well, I think it... I don't... Oh. Okay. Well, I don't think that's quite right. So I think we're gonna drag this back over here and just forget that ever happened. But yeah, anyway, they've changed it so that the volume slide is like really good on it, so that's amazing. Yeah, that was very Matrix. That was with the ammo racks. Cool. Alright then, let's close that down and let's load up the game. Here we go. We'll just shut down the OST there. We're actually going to come straight into the same music, I think. There we go. Lovely stuff. So we're going to load up a new campaign. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. What do we want to do? Do we want to play... I pretty much only play the 1984 campaign because I'm horrible at the 1968 campaign. I am just bad at it. I need to practice, but I won't practice on stream. I'll practice in my own time because it's just going to be me dying a lot. So it's going to be a 1984 campaign. And I'm going to hit you with the question, would you like to play as NATO, or would you like to play as the Russians? And a lot of people just go, you know, oh, das Ruski, that doesn't make any sense. The Ruski, you know what I mean? Like, East Germany, I suppose. Never mind. Yeah, so basically a lot of people are kind of like, oh yeah, let's go East, you know, whatever, let's go as the Soviet bloc kind of thing. But yeah, that could be something we could do. So what do we think? Now, 1939 campaign, literally fucking what a Japanese two-man mini-sub. Should we get one of those out? A lot of people actually say NATO. That surprises me that they rato the NATO. So I mean, we could do. I think we could play some NATO submarines. But I am Russian. I know. There's is anybody here familiar with Jive Turkey? Your Discord invitation link isn't working for some reason. Let me try and fix that for you. Should be working. Invite people. Link will never expire. Copy. Oh, see, look at that. Isn't that helpful? And then if I paste that in chat, that's the donation link. Is it? Sorry, the donation link. Oh, I see. It's the Moobot one that's old. Let me see here. If you actually go down to the panels below the thing, which isn't working either because I'm a professional streamer, talk amongst yourselves. Let me sort this out. There we go. See, look, image links to Discord. That should link to Discord. Let me just put the link at the bottom as well. There we go. That's going to be there. Just close that, and then let's just quickly log into Moobot and fix that. Yeah, you're right. It was a link that wasn't set to. It didn't expire properly, basically, or it did expire. That's the whole point. It did expire, and it went very wrong. Let me see what I can do about that. Click here to connect Moobot. Thank you, Moobot. You should already be connected. Skip, and let's go to... It's not a Quebec stream without some live bug fixing. Command timers. Default timer on. That's fine. Command list. I've got all my commands in there, which I barely use. Consider joining the Discord. There it is. That's the new one. I wonder if that is going to then update the other thing that does happen. Join priority polls, raffles, automatic commercials. I don't run commercials. Well, at least no commercials I can handle running. I think that should be better. If not, just obviously go down to the panel at the bottom and you'll be able to slither on in there. Right, back to the game. Let me just close all of that shite. And reopen the stream that I closed. Oh, I'm so good at this. I'm so good at this. Right, bounce that off that window. Put that window in there. Fantastic. Right, we'll minimise Discord too. And we'll bring the game back up. There we go. So from what I gathered, a lot of people wanted us to play NATO submarines. So we're going to play some NATO ones then. Let's start. I don't know why this one's called for our Trafalgar class campaign, but we're just going to do a new one. Yes. I don't know why I've renamed it Traff as well, but we won't worry about it too much. So, we've got a few different choices of NATO submarine. Could I narrow it down? We're going to keep it to the 1984 era, so we're not going to go for any like 2000 era or 19... Well, we could go for some 968 era stuff, but what are you feeling in terms of ships? Are you feeling us going with the USA? Are you feeling us going with maybe Britain, the great, the Royal Navy? Or are you maybe feeling with us going for some wacky one like the Swedish or the Netherlands or something? So it's up to that. Up to you guys. We'll see how it goes on. We could go for a Swiftsure, isn't that? I think we could go for a Swiftsure or a Trafalgar class. We could go Japan. Italy, the Gotland class. Let's have a look at the Gotland. I know it's hiding here somewhere. Where is it? Where is the Gotland? There it is. Sweden, the Gotland class 1990. A little bit too modern. But yeah, that isn't actually what a Gotland class looks like either, but they've got to do what they've got to do. Murica. I think it has some Dutch submarines. No? Maybe I'm telling a lie. Are these the NDL? NDL, are these... Oh yeah, there we go. Royal Netherlands Navy. There you go. So you've got the Dolphin class, Dolphin, Walrus. So you've got Walrus and Dolphin classes. Your Walrus class is the 1984 submarine. It's quite a quiet submarine. Replaced the Svardvis class submarine in the Royal Dutch Navy. This is all right actually. It's only 23 knots, so I think this is what is. I don't think this is necessarily a nuclear-powered submarine. I think this might be a diesel-electric attack boat, but I'm not sure. Who knows at this point? Right. What the fuck was that Jive Turkey class? He's somebody that does a lot of cold waters content. The Jive Turkey class, right there it is. Jive, he's somebody that does a lot of cold waters, and the idea is that he's like some 1980s disco aficionado. So, yeah, they made a special submarine for him. In fact, I could actually ask them to make a terrible Quebec class submarine, because there is actually a Russian Quebec class submarine. You've also got the Excelsior as well, which was made for another content coverer, which is very nice looking, if you ask me. But yeah, one of those. They're all a bit sort of troll and a bit overpowered, so just a little bit. So the Swiftsure, that was something that people recommended. Covered here in rust, it's got a mucky hull here, but it would do the job nicely. Got a nice crush depth of 1,800 feet, made very well. Spearfish and Tigerfish torpedoes, Mark 23s as well, UGMs, T-Lambs and decoys. Very nice outfit. Cool. I know it's a Trekkie sub. Excellent. They were all diesel electric, I thought as much. Okay, so what do we feel like we're playing? What does Australia have? Australia, the Aussies, they have an Oberon, a Collins, and I think that's it. Yeah, an Oberons and a Collin class. 1984 and 1990, so we'd be using the Oberon class if we were going to play in one. 17 knots. An attack boat. The Australian Royal Navy prepared 6 Oberon class ships. These differ from the British variation in that they were upgraded by the Royal Australian Navy in the late 1970s. The primary upgrades were to the fire control system so it could support the American Mark 48 torpedo and sonar suite, to a German-made system. A terrible, basically, submarine. It does look edgy. Is this secret submarine? Sorry. English. Is this Soviet's secret submarine stash? It could be. Tea making facilities on board, exactly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he served on a submarine. I'm an avid watcher of his content. And then we've got all of the Russian subs here as well, looking very nice actually. They recently went over and did all of like the paint schemes and stuff for a few of them. So this Victor class looks very nice now compared to its default model. So stuff like that. There's loads of them. There's obviously the Red October and stuff like that, but we won't be playing in these. Like, the function of the Red October is... It's not a great submarine to drive in cold waters, because cold waters is about submarine on submarine and ship on ship action. The Typhoon and the Red October were they were nuclear submarines designed for devastating nuclear strikes and missile strikes on land targets. Like, basically they would carry a huge... All of these little hatches here, I don't know if you can see them if the resolution's high enough, but each of them would house like a series of missiles that had nuclear tipped warheads. Like these were meant to be devastating nuclear launch platforms hidden under the sea. And that was the point of them. They're not very good in cold waters for what cold waters is, which is almost a ship on ship action game. Our Collins-class submarines were perfect in all respects other than the fact that they were prone to leaking uncontrollably. That would be a large overshadow. Snow slows the molasses, yes, it's true. Well, I think we're going to pick one. I kind of want to go for the US submarine, I'll be honest. I'm going to be boring. But the question is, which one? We've got loads of different submarines. We've got Nautilus, which is a 1974. It's a fantasy design, that. We've got the Albacore 68, not interested. There's this one, which is a Tang class, 1984 era. It can make 18 knots, and it has a test depth of 700 feet. The Tang class submarines were developed for the greater underwater propulsion power program, Guppy, conversion program for World War II submarines, which incorporated stolen German type, I'm not sure what that is, 21 U-boat technology into the United States Navy submarines. They comprised the state-of-the-art post-war World War II conventionally powered submarine designs. So it's a post-World War II submarine that's been somewhat modernised. We've got the Guppy, we've got the Barbell, and then we get on to the more familiar ones like the Skipjack. I don't know whether I'm feeling the Skipjack. I might actually be feeling a Skipjack run. It's very loud. What do we think? Are we feeling taking a turn out in the Skipjack? Because remember, we're playing on elite difficult. We have not played the Skipjack and after it was after the AI updates. If you remember the last Cold Waters patch, it made the game very, very difficult because the AI snapshot against you. They're much more intelligent with torpedo evasion and such as. Should we play the Skippy? The Skipjack is the little submarine that could. It's quite loud. This is a if you actually look back here, it actually has a 1968 variant. The Skipjack was actually used as far back as 1968. So it's a very dated submarine. You'll notice here that if you see this little wire that comes down the side. If we go to the 1968 version, it's not there. This was a post sort of modification that was made to sort of modernise the submarine. After it sort of really started to lag behind. This little wire, it almost looks like it could be like a mini exhaust of sorts, is actually the wire that controls the towed array. If you don't know what a towed array is, Google submarine or naval towed array in your appropriate search browser, and you'll be able to see what a towed array is. It's basically very sensitive sort of sonar equipment that is dragged sort of a fair way behind the submarine, as so that the submarine itself doesn't contaminate the signals that it's trying to detect. So it's a very sort of, it's like a tow in a trailer basically. Right. Brilliant. I think we're going to do this one then. I think we're going to play this submarine here. So let's have a look about it. It's got Mark 48 and MOSS decoys. It has one type of torpedo and one type of decoy. That is it. That's all you get for your money. There is nothing else available here. This is quite a dated design, and there was no real feasible way for them to cost effectively change the torpedo tubes once they were in place. The only good thing about the Skipjack versus, say, some of the more modern NATO submarines is that they do have 6 torpedo ports, torpedo tubes even, which means they are able to load 6 weapons. Again, the only problem with that is that, it can only carry torpedoes and decoys, basically. So what I usually like to do is load 4 of them with torpedoes and then 2 of them with decoys, because you never really need more than 4 torpedoes. Now, you may be asking yourself, oh, Joe, 4 torpedoes, that's going to be amazing. If you load 6 Mark 48s, you're going to be able to kill an entire fleet in a single salvo. Not entirely true. You'll know that we control the torpedoes by almost like a tow missile system kind of deal. There's a wire that trails behind the torpedo, a literal wire, a very thin cable that literally spools out, following the torpedo, literally connecting the torpedo to the boat, so that we are able to steer it after we've fired it. We're able to still control the weapon. The problem is that the skipjack can only accommodate one wire at a time, which means I can fire a spread of torpedoes, that's no problem, but I can only control one of them, which is a bit interesting, I'm sure you'll agree. So, in terms of the actual sensor suites we've got on here, we've got an okay search radar. It's not amazing by any measure. We've also got some medium frequency hull mounted arrays and a medium frequency towed array. Now, medium frequency, what does that mean? That means it is best able to detect frequencies in the middle of the band, and obviously the upper band as well as a result of that. The medium is sort of as low as it can go. This torpedo is very bad at detecting quiet submarines. The sonar suite just isn't up for it. The quieter a submarine is, the more difficulty this submarine has at detecting them, and most Soviet submarines, I say most, operate at quite a low frequency, so we're really going to have to be careful and not set a foot wrong while we're driving this thing. It's going to be very difficult to drive, or very difficult to stay detecting targets, particularly in stormy conditions with high background ambience. That's going to be a real trouble. Down at the bottom here, it's got a little bit of news about the skipjack. I'll read you that. The actual ship itself is very loud. If we compare it with, say, other submarines, let's have a look. 136 decibels. Let's keep going. Doesn't say shit there. Okay, well let's go into like the British. So 142 decibels for the Permit, and it's 148 for the skipjack. Barbell 145. 145, 150, 152, 148, and those are some of the dated ones. The skipjack for the 1984 campaign, by 1984 standards, is quite loud. Sort of the average on the battlefield is about 130 decibels, which means we're above average in terms of our loudness. It means that we're quite a noisy submarine, particularly when we're running at full speed. In addition to that, the enemy obviously may also only be 130 decibels, which is considerably quieter than we are, but they may only be 130 decibels. But if they have low frequency or low frequency sonar suites, then we're going to stick out like a fucking, like a spotlight in the dark. We're really going to struggle to hide unless we're really careful with how we drive the ship. So, just the sort of the little service notes. It's in service since 1959. That should give you an idea of the ancient sort of history at this point of this submarine. It's been in service for, well, at this point in the campaign, 25 years. It's a 25-year-old sub. The skipjacks were the first attack submarines to feature the revolutionary teardrop hull in a single hull construction. So you'll note, a lot of the submarines like the Tang and the Guppy class look like this. This is one of the first submarines in the US arsenal to feature this design, this teardrop style hull, which is very good at breaking apart sort of sonar signature. And while that was pretty good at the time in 1968, everybody's doing it now in 1984, so it's not as effective. Teardrop hull in single construction with a single shaft. They have been refitted with quieter propellers and towed arrays. These boats are designed for high speed and lacking the silencing and advanced sonars introduced in the later classes. One member of this class, the USS Scorpion, sank with all hands near the Azores in 1968. So, hey ho, daddy o. So yeah, this is an interesting one, this submarine. It's like I say, they tried to quieten it to keep it sort of viable for modern service, but it is a dated submarine at this point. Right. Enough waffling on. We're going to take control of this one. So, from Comsublant, I have words. Commander Quebec, new command assignment. Effective immediately, you are hereby assigned command of Skipjack USS Scamp SSN 588. Congratulations and good luck in your new command. I haven't played this. We could be sunk instantly here. Truthfully, we're going to real struggle. So the premise for the game is that it's 1984 and the Russian forces have declared all-out war on NATO, on Western Europe basically, starting by invading Western Germany from the Eastern Bloc. So they have started an attack on Germany, which has triggered sort of the NATO agreement, the NATO and all of the sort of the Western powers have sprung into action. With similar to how the US supplied arms in the Second World War, there are merchant convoys coming from the United States to make sure NATO stays in supply. So it's all very interesting at this point. So we're just going to just read the news. Okay, so instantly we've got a mission here. We're docked at Holy Loch in Scotland. It's the 11th of December 1984 and it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Tactical situation. Intelligence has discerned a pattern to movements of enemy at-sea replenishment tankers and tenders. A small enemy force, including one or two of these ships, is expected to sail from Archangel, or Archangelsk, shortly, for a rendezvous somewhere in the Norwegian Sea. You are ordered to find and sink this group. You may also get a chance at the enemy warships this group intends to support, but the tankers and tenders are the mission targets. So if you're new to the game, tenders and tankers are supply ships. They are resupply vessels designed to resupply, what is it? Are we resupplying? They're resupplying warships, so, you know, frigates and cruisers and destroyers, that kind of thing. They're resupplying them out at sea. So we need to find and sink those resupply ships so that they can't get supplies back out to them. So let us review our arms and weaponry. We have got a grand total of 22 Mark 48 torpedoes. I am going to drop that weapon load by 2 and take an extra 2 decoys with me. It's going to take 3 hours to do it, but that is all. Right, let's cast off. So we need to get into the Norwegian Sea. Now the nice thing about the skipjack is that even though it's a little bit loud and dated, because it's such a fast submarine, being one of the only submarines really around the time of 1930, well, so not so 1939, the 1980s that can pull 30 knots. A lot of the sort of the slightly older American vessels can't quite pull 30 knots, apart from the Los Angeles, which can. A lot of the Soviet submarines can pull 30 knots. It was just a limitation of the American subs at the time. So we're going to lie in wait around the Norwegian Sea. This could be our target here. He's coming in. Let's hang around in the Norwegian Sea. They're just skirting the coast. Could be this guy. Let's wait for him. There we go. We've intercepted. Okay, Comrade Captain, we have a new sonar contact bearing 92092, designated as Sierra 1. It's been designated as Sierra because it is our sonar that has detected it. Okay, sonar contact bearing 92 designated Sierra 1. So that's how that works. So sonar contacts are Sierra. ESM contacts, which is a different form of tracking and identification, that would be Echo 1. If you use your periscope, I'm not sure entirely which one periscope is. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. There is one. Oh, the radar is Romeo 1, isn't it? If you detect a radar contact, then it's Romeo 1. And if you detect with more than one form of, identification, so let's say if I use my ESM mast and my radar suite, then it becomes Master 1. So then instead of Sierra 1, it becomes Master. So that's how that works. Our depth is 50 feet. We're just tippy-toeing under the surface, and our heading is 48. We're travelling at 5 knots, nice and quiet. Local conditions are rain with a light breeze, and there is a strong surface duct and moderate thermal air which will likely be taking advantage of at the 353 feet mark. We are going to close to, let's call it 20,000 yards. I want to stay comfortably far away. We're going to rig ship for silent running, and then we're going to come up to periscope depth.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
So con sonar has detected Sierra 1. Vessels are classified as nearby. I didn't mean to do that, but hey ho. I need to remember what the controls are. F1.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 112, designated Sierra 2.
It is also night or low light. Bring us up to periscope depth.
Depth 4 by feet, dive by.
And let's raise.
Dive at 4 by feet, dive by.
Raise the periscope.
Upscope.
Let's switch us into low light mode. And let's scan for targets. So the targets are around bearing 103. So they're somewhere over here. Hang on, we've got a contact there. Let's mark it with lasers. Master 2, contact bearing 112 has been marked. They're all master contacts now. Let's keep scanning. Another target just out there. Master 1 been marked, front of the convoy. Let's keep scanning over the horizon. No other visual contacts. Master 1 and Master 2. No visual on any other ships. Drop the scope.
Down scope.
So it seems to be that we've got the front and the back of the fleet all tied up. So we're just running parallel with them, sort of, or we're actually on an intercept course. Let's give it a tickle of left. Helm, bring us left 029.
Come left to 029. Helm I.
Right. So we're running for silent running at the moment. We're now going to attempt to identify the targets we've found. We know we're fighting surface ships, so let's just scan through what we've got here. Right. Looks like we've got two
Con, helm, steady course.
frequencies on the high band here. Was that a cash-in? No, it wasn't a cash-in. Keep going. Oh, now that's a serious one. A Grisha 3. 950 tons. It's a small patrol boat.
Con, sonar, master 1 is classified as escort.
It's an escort ship, 950 tons. It's a very light and fast boat, very noisy, and it's equipped for anti-submarine work. Very dangerous. Right, let's keep going with our classifications. This ship here is very loud. Let's attempt to wear this one out. This is likely one of the cargo ships with the amount of noise this is making. So we'll see. Just got to keep going, keep identifying. Not quite that one. Here we go. An Andazan.
Con, sonar, master 2 is classified as merchant.
Merchant ship, an Andazan. We've got another ship here, very narrow band. This could be biologic. It's got a very strange medium frequency. I'm pretty sure that is biologic, actually. Let me just scan through the biologic signatures. Red October, November, Victor, Alpha, Yasin, Akula, Romeo. Where is the biologic? There it is, humpback whale. Knew it was biologic.
Con, sonar, master 3 is classified as biologic.
And then Sierra 4 is also biologic.
Con, sonar, Sierra 4 is classified as biologic.
So the only two ships that we've found are an Andazan and a Grisha. Interesting. Now, with only one weapon or one ship on target, what we're going to do is we're going to come right to heading 130.
Come right to 131. Helm I.
Or 131 even. We're going to tell dive to take us down to 300 feet.
Make depth 300 feet, dive I.
We're going to prepare to fire a weapon on the Andazan. Can you actually see the whales? Yes, you can drive up to the whales. We actually found out that they're very, very small, which is quite amusing. Okay, let's just sort of track this target, the Andazan. How's it doing? It's pulling 8 knots. It's not really making like a bat out of hell, so it's obvious that we haven't been detected yet. But we're very close at 11,000 yards. The Grisha 3 is... I can't see this being the only ship in the fleet, so we'll have to be careful. Again, we've got no other contacts though. We've detected 2 biological wildlives and 2 enemy ships. The Grisha 3 obviously being quite a nasty one. What do we think?
Con, helm, steady course.
How would they compare to the skipjack? Sorry. He's going to have a whale of the time with... how would the whales compare to the skipjack? The whales are probably smaller than the skipjack submarine. Twardy's right. I'm actually thinking of sinking the escort first. That's a fair point. So, in no particular order, let's fire on the escort. Range to the target is 8,000 yards. That's nice and close. We're going to fire it out of 2-1, which is on the left. So, I've got the little sand timer of doom. Don't die. Right. Firing point procedures on the bearing of Master 1. That is bearing 079. Range to enable 6,400 yards. Ship ready, tube ready, fire tube 1.
Shoot tube 1. Aye, sir.
Weapon has cleared the tube and is running normally. Okay. The weapon's now tracking to the target. What we've set here is an enable point. This Mark 48 torpedo has an what we'd call a homing warhead. Which means...
Con, dive at 300 feet, dive I.
So the range just started, and we just heard a launch transient on the bearing of the Grisha. They're firing a spread of torpedoes in our direction. That said and done, we're going to want to get below the layer now with enemy torpedoes coming our way. So dive, take us down to 600, 700 feet.
Make depth 700 feet, dive I.
Take us below this thermal layer. Let's get off radar. Or let's get off sonar. Cat, move out the way. There we go. Here we go, we got a spread coming in. Coming in to our left, it's going to come in high. We'll set the weapon to run shallow, you are right. And just in case the wire breaks, we are now going to set the weapon to home. We're going to go active, and we're going to activate the weapon. We're going to steer it onto the target as we still have the wire, and we're going to get it to track the Grisha. I can't see the enemy weapons yet. I think we might be coming in just out there. I think that's a weapon there, and that's a weapon there. And there's another weapon there. Very far in the distance. The weapon is going to acquire the Grisha very shortly. Let's stay on track for the Andazan. Helm,
Con, fire control. Weapon acquired.
Can't I? Helm, bring us left to bearing 104.
Come left to 104. Helm aye.
Currently on our way down to 700 feet. The crush depth of this particular submarine is 800 feet, so we can't go much lower than 800 feet without a real
Con
danger.
sonar,
Yeah.
noisemaker bearing 078.
Robust Penguin, thanks very much, mate. Cheers, bro. Oi, psst, cat, get down from there.
Con, helm, steady course.
What are you playing at? Yes, I hear you. Right. Adult cats only meow to attract human attention, yes. Look at that Grisha. Tokyo Drift. You can see how small of a boat it is. It's fired its spread of torpedoes at us. He's trying to confuse us with the weapon. Well, he's trying to confuse the weapon with evasive maneuvers around a decoy.
Fire control. Weapon.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 079.
079. This warhead here has gone active. The Grisha...
Con, fire control. Weapon acquired. Con, fire control. Weapon countermeasure homing.
Grisha's trying to go evasive on this torpedo here. Let's steer it onto the target. Let's give it full left rudder.
Con, dive at 700 feet, dive I.
There we go.
Con, fire control. Weapon countermeasure homing.
We're going to steer the torpedo.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 079.
Come on, steer it in. Come on, you got this. Oh, the pain of it all. Okay, let's go full circle. Let's try and get him. Right, zigzag back in on him. Nice shooting, Q. Look at that turn rate. How am I supposed to beat this? There we go. We're going to get him in a very sharp right-hand turn here. He says, hoping.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 075.
Con, fire control. Weapon acquired.
Weapon acquired. Got him. Come on, that's got to be a hit.
Con, fire control.
Oh!
Weapon countermeasure homing.
Come on, left rudder high. Go on, you got him.
Con sonar,
Yes.
noisemaker bearing
Fucking finally.
077.
There we go. You can see how hard we hit him. Now, the Andazan here is trying to open range. It's closed out to 8,000 yards, so we're going to get another weapon on the target. Reload tube 1 and get ready to fire tube 2. So, firing point procedures, bearing 105, range to enable 10,300 yards. Ship ready, tube ready, fire tube 2.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 4, bearing 114.
We're going to set weapon to run shallow and home once it reaches the target. There we go, weapon away. It's all good. Yeah, excellent use of countermeasures right there. I got too many cats in this damn house. Oh, God. Don't ever get cats. I know it's going to come as sacrilege to some people, but they don't have owners, they have staff. Get out. What? Oh, fine. You give me the puppy eyes. They also are very good at giving you puppy eyes for cats. I'm a bit low compared to the... Oh, beg your pardon, if I move the microphone...
Ready.
Nope. 2-1 ready, aye. If I move the microphone there, am I a bit better? Hopefully so. There we go. How many do I have? I've got 3 cats. We had, 2 intentional and then a fucking stray, aren't you? You disgusting... Oh, go on then. I'll scratch your head. Yeah, this third cat just turned up in our garden. Just this kitten. And we were like, there's no way a kitten that size has climbed over our fence. Clearly Mum was moving them and lost this one along the way. And we didn't bring her straight into the house, obviously. We didn't just grab her and run off with her. We basically put food out for her in our garden. And then after about 3 days of her constantly coming back for the food, and basically just staying in our garden all the time. We had a little rabbit hutch out there with a little trapdoor in the bottom. That our actual cats used as a kind of outdoor hidey hole. And basically this one kept fucking sleeping in it, so it became very apparent with the no collar and the like that the cat didn't have a home. So yeah, we took it in. That's how you get cats, exactly. And this one is really annoying because she always feels like she has to thank you for letting you stay at our house. So fucking she just keeps getting in the way, don't you, cat? Literally walking all over me now like a human cry. That is my mango and apple drink. You can get away from it, you creature. Oh. That's her tail. Lovely. Cats, man. What can you do? Right then. Are you going to go to bed or not? Are you just going to keep headbutting my face? She just literally just keeps walking out. Having 3 cats and 2 of them that spend most of their time in my room literally just means that fucking everything I own has cat hair on it, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Could make a fur coat. Honestly, my work blazer, I look like Cruella de Vil. It's horrible. I make up for the... I know dog hair's worse, but I make up for it in just multiple cats.
Sonar lost contact. Master 2, last bearing 106. Contact faded.
So we lost Master 2. Let's come up above the thermal layer here and the strong duct. So let's bring it up to 200 feet, please, dive.
Make depth 200 feet, dive I.
Also, we could bring ourselves to a head 2/3, but it's not so important. There we go. I'll love and cuddle. Go on then. I'll love and cuddle the cat. See, now that's a big mistake because she just won't leave me alone. She's going to help me play the game. She does this thing where if she wants to only this cat. I've had a few cats over the years, and this is the only cat that's ever done this. Right? She basically, do you know how cats brush up things? like, you know, to like scratch their chin on, you know, they'll like rub up it with their, you know, scratch their chin on it kind of thing. She does that with my nose. My nose, she uses it as like a canoe paddle, and she just headbutts it. She like scratches her head on my nose, and if my nose isn't in reach,
sonar regained contact on Master 2.
she'll
bearing
fucking
1,
get her
0,
claws out and
6.
she'll tap the side of my face so that I'd lower my nose so that she can fight. And it's not a big nose. It's not a big nose. It's just that's what she does now. It's like we boop snoots. That's what we do. It's so annoying because it's really bad in the fucking when you have like hay fever. Okay, the torpedo is searching for the target. We've set it for a shallow search. Looks like it's just outside of weapon range at the moment, although I don't really believe that, I'll be honest. It's not sure on the Andazan's target. Let's bring us up to periscope
Make depth 4, 5 feet, dive by.
We can steer the weapon then. We've lost the target. Sonar isn't sure on its solution, only 29%. Weapon struggling to home it. We're going to come up to PD and we're going to raise the radar mast in an attempt to identify where this target's hiding. I suspect this marker might be accurate, so I'll just do a 360 with the torpedo, see if we can't acquire a target.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
So this marker is roughly accurate. Here we go. We're now tracking the target. Oh, we're tracking... Oh shit, we're tracking a humpback whale. No, stream, come on, behave yourself. Okay, no, the Andazan must be out here then. Right, we'll raise the radar mast.
Raise the radar mast.
There's the Andazan, just outside of range. Whales are so... If I didn't raise the radar mast then, or if I had that on passive homing, then we could have just killed a humpback. Someone also told me as well that if you use active sonar in too close of a proximity to a whale, then it could literally deafen them.
Dive at 4, 5 feet, dive by.
We're eating blubber tonight. Right, let's drop the radar
Lower the
mast,
radar mast.
because we now have a firing solution on the target thanks to the torpedo. The nice thing about having the wire still attached to the torpedo is that it sends fire control data back down the wire to the ship, which means if it is tracking a target like it is now, every ping that goes out sends a return to the torpedo head and thus updates the target solution for us back at the ship. So having something on active homing, if you don't know exactly where it is or what it is, can help identify it. There's the Andazan. We might even be able to watch the explosion from the periscope. It would be difficult to say. If I come to a
Con
head
sonar,
flank...
we are cavitating.
Raise
Up scope.
Oh no, it's going to probably damage the scope, isn't it? Let's go to a head standard.
Make turns for
On. Periscope has been damaged.
There we go. Let's go to a head 1/3.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Just damage my periscope like a bit of an idiot. That's the ship we're after. We might even be able to watch the explosion in the periscope. Let's get the damage control party to repair it.
Damage control parties. Into the torpedo room.
There we go.
Con sonar regained contact on
Should see a big
Master
boom.
3, bearing 147.
Any second
Con
now?
sonar. Con maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots. Con sonar lost contact. Master
There
2,
it is.
last bearing 107. Contact breaking up.
Contact is fading. Right, we're going to let the damage control party repair the periscope, which means lowering it again.
On. Periscope has been damaged.
It's going to take 8 minutes to repair it, that's alright. So the target's just been knocked out. Let's go in and check on it. It's already arse under. Had a helicopter pad at the back. Didn't launch any helicopters though. Nice hit on the stern there. It's taken on a lot of water and she's going down very quickly. perfect. Right, let me just hit F9 then to speed up time. We're just going to wait for the periscope to repair, which is going to take a little while. Let's just surface for now then. Let's come up to 0 feet.
Make depth
Just while we make
0
repairs.
feet, dive I.
There we go.
Con sonar lost contact. Master 3, last bearing 1.
On. The periscope has been repaired.
Periscope has been repaired. We
Con
repair
sonar
it,
lost contact.
and we drop off
0.
the radar. Okay, so 2 contacts eliminated: a Grisha 3 escort ship and an Andazan cargo ship. 2 torpedoes fired, 2 hits, and no decoys used on our part. We're all okay, such as it is. It's nice to keep seeing the skipjack. Yeah, it's good. I love the skipjack. It's a plucky submarine. Good to hear you intercepted and destroyed the enemy replenishment resources. Keep up the good work. Further orders will be transmitted on the downlink. So we get a newspaper article. Disgusting. Sorry, I didn't. Right, the World News, 13th of December 1984. Navy moves in. NATO warships and submarines have taken up several... Sorry, let me do it in the news presenter voice. Several new strategic positions, including some around the Norwegian Sea, in response to significantly reduced Soviet naval activity. Sources close to the Pentagon say the war is taking a heavy toll on enemy naval operations and that their supply lines continue to be heavily strained. Recent NATO gains at sea have decreased the numbers of warships needed to maintain control in several regions. Many vessels from these regions have rapidly been reassigned to escort duties to better protect convoys, carrying much-needed arms, armor, and men, from the United States to the United Kingdom. There we go. Fucking fuck it up. I couldn't be a newscaster. I could be, but I'd be terrible. I'd have to do improv news. I can't read from a script. Terrible. Terrible eyes. How is the Cold Waters learning? Same voice. Let me do reporter's voice. Same voice. It's not the same voice. This is Vinky Beck, Hollylock, BBC. That's the one. Hang on. Let's have a look at... Sorry, Womble's just... Womble's advocate has just backpedaled slightly. I'd like to see why. I saw Womble's Monstrum video of you, that you're from Birmingham, and that you're one of my few favourite streamers. I live in Kings Heath. I was originally Handsworth based. Just got hit. Just wondering whereabouts in Brum. It's yes. Would you like my address? Like... I live up Great Bar Way, not far from the Asda supermarket on the Queslet Road, sort of where the Queslet and the Aldridge Road kind of cross over. I'm pretty much right next to that. Quebec weather for submarines, that's it. Cool, right, so we've got a new mission coming in. This is on the 13th of December, 0500 hours. Tactical situation. Intelligence estimates indicate that enemy Spetsnaz commandos will be landing from submarine in the vicinity of Narvik in Norway. They intend to report our submarine movements and perhaps sabotage a naval base. You are ordered to intercept and eliminate them before they land. Primary objective: locate and sink the enemy submarines transporting the Spetsnaz commandos. Secondary objective: locate and sink any escorting submarines if possible. The rules of engagement are on warning yellow. Weapons free on designated targets only. So we're not able to shoot the wildlife, and we're not able to shoot any local merchant ships. The day 13th of December 1984 is the day I was born. Well, in the theoretical Third World War, what ship are we in? We're in the Scamp. The USS Scamp was conducting in a parallel universe, Musuk even. We were conducting naval operations against Soviet commandos up near Narvik. So hey, what a time. Am I going to give Nantucket a try so that you can... Yeah, that's the one. What if the wildlife is on? If the wildlife starts shooting torpedoes at it, then Soviet technology is far more advanced than we first thought. The Iron Curtain, far more dangerous. Hang on. Okay, I see, yeah. Clear, calm conditions, nobody closing. Right, we need to get to Narvik, which is just on the coast here. We've had a submarine slip by, but it's not the submarine we're after. We're going to lie in wait for the submarine. He's going to come round here, following the coast. So we're going to slip past the SOSUS line here, and we're just going to lie in wait in the shallows. He's going to bump into us. Here he comes. Lovely. Captain, we have a new sonar contact bearing 275, designated as Sierra 1. XO reports that our depth is 50 feet, heading 341. Speed is 5 knots. Local conditions are scattered with a moderate breeze, and there is a very weak surface duct and no thermal layer. Okay. Let's close to 15,000 yards and
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
rig ship for silent running. Take a sounding, please, sonar. Total water depth is 578 feet.
Con, sonar, new contact bearing 299, designated Sierra 2.
Sierra 1 and 2 have both been identified. Dive, bring us down to 200 feet.
Make depth 200 feet. Dive I.
Let's begin our target acquisition. Bring us down to 3 knots, please.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering I.
Okay, so this is a biologic. Not much to say about this. Just click my way through. I know this is biologic. I recognise the oh, he says it's not biologic. It might actually, oh shit. Okay. It's not biologic. Let's check mercantile.
3 knots.
It might, oh, it could actually, I think it might actually be a Soviet submarine. Okay, I thought for sure with the narrow band here that would be a, what is that? It's a Stingray? No. Okay.
Oh,
I was wrong.
Yeah.
The Alabama, the A1 Alabama Gamer. Thank you very much, mate. I'm getting better at reading these names. This is a really weird frequency that we're tracking here. There's some stuff in the sort of the narrow to high band here, which is really odd. I'm just going to have to keep tracking, see what I come up with. What is that? What is that? Merchant shipping? I don't know. I'm going through all the known catalogues. I must have missed it. Oh, it could be that.
0 feet. Dive I.
A Victor 1. It almost looks like there is a high band frequency there. Let's mark it as Victor.
Con, sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
That is a nasty submarine if that is a Victor. Okay. Let's try and identify Sierra 1 then. So submarines, let's check submarine band. So it's got a Victor 1 in escort. Where are the Russian subs? I think it's to the left, isn't it? Yes. Saves me going all the way around. Could be that. No. Romeo? No. No, it's not a Shang. Oh, this is very confusing now. Let's try one more time through the Soviet submarines. Could this be biologic? It's not a Red October, thank God. Okay, it doesn't... Oh, could be that. It's a humpback whale.
Con, sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as biologic.
The real question is, would a Victor 1 be transporting Spetsnaz commandos? Probably not. They're only at 8,000 yards though, which is a bit interesting. Let's take a look at the conditions. They're about at the same depth as us. We want to go... Ideally, I'd like to get deeper, but I'm going to have to go up to 100 feet.
Make depth 100 feet. Dive I.
If they fire a torpedo at me, I want it to be shallow so that I can dive, rather than be at 300 feet and have nowhere to go. I'd much rather have more room to dive. Also, there's a little bit of plant life on the ocean floor now. I like that addition. I can't reload any decoys yet, which I'm going to need to. Right. signature. Low frequency passive sonar is at -8, so we're undetected for the moment. Helm, bring us to full stop.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Release ship from silent running. Okay. Reload a decoy in tube 4 and do it quietly. We're at -1. Just undetected. Just. The Spetsnaz are in the whale. God, this is fucking risky. If he gets a fraction closer than he is, we get detected. And then it fucking becomes an absolute knife fight. He's closing as well. -2. What's his direction of travel?
Con, dive at 100 feet, dive I.
He's coming right for us, I'm pretty sure. Reload that shit. Is he coming from right to left? Or left to right even? He is, he's coming right for us. Reload that.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Big ship for silent running. Make turns for 1 knot.
Make turns for 1 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Bring us left, bearing 287.
Come left to 287. Helm aye.
I've got to stay absolutely silent here. I've got to let him go past me. He was pulling 8 knots and I'm only pulling 5. The reason he probably hasn't detected me yet is because he's still doing 8 knots. Basically, the slower you're going, the less water is rushing over your instruments, so the more accurate of the reading they can give. You'll notice because we're pulling only a single knot, we've got virtually no background noise, which means the Victor's signature really shines out. Which is the reason we can detect him and he can't detect us, despite him having a better sonar suite. We're driving the ship much more carefully, because we've detected him already. He's at 6,700 yards. As soon as this low-frequency passive meter goes to 0 or 1, that means he's detected us. At the moment it's at -5 and dropping. Come on, Cap. Wish me luck. The reason I'm turning around to face him is because there's something known as a contact's baffles, or my own baffles. It's a blind spot behind the ship, behind the submarine, created by my own propeller and engines. The sonar can't look behind us, and I don't want to lose this Victor 1 when it goes past. So that's why I'm turning to the side, so that my side sonar can still acquire him. There we go, we've got an accurate range, 6,200 yards. We should be able to see the Victor just off to our left somewhere. There he is. Look how close he is. And that is a serious Soviet nuclear attack submarine right there. A serious threat. Set 65 and 5365M torpedoes. That is a nasty boat with very capable sonar equipment. We're just drifting by. Single knot, that's all it needs. If we can get into his baffles and fire, he won't know there's a torpedo coming until it's right on top of him. Come on, Cap. Get off the desk. Get on the bed. There you go. You really ought to try and go for Twitch partner. I think you'd be able to get it. I really should, to be fair. I've put the application in. I got asked to do that yesterday, so I did. So it just takes a little while to come through, I think, because they have to review it. They still have to review it. Okay. Do you have a baffle even when you are towing a sonar behind you? No, you do not. Oh, sorry, yes you do. But no, you don't, sorry. You don't have a baffle when you are towing sonar behind you. You do not have baffles if you are towing a sonar array. But this guy is not towing a sonar array. He is only a Victor 1 class, which means no sonar array for him, which means he does have baffles that we can close into. Set rudder to 0, you're parallel with the boat. Rudder is already at 0. That's the RUD here. I should probably talk a little bit about this because there's a lot of jargon there. Course, CSC is our course. That means we're heading bearing 287. Speed is obviously knots. Depth is obviously depth, 100 feet. Rudder is 0. Planes are these little flaps here, which basically nose the boat up and down, and BAL stands for ballast, BAL, which is the ballast tanks that we can flood with, which we can either put in negative or positive pressure to raise us or sink us, depending on what we need to do. On this side, this is the contact we're tracking, all of its information. It is heading at bearing 227, or sorry, it is bearing 227 from us, heading on course 90. It is pulling a speed of 8 knots at a range of 3,700 kiloyards, which is 3,700 meters, and our solution is 95% certain, which means we basically know exactly where he is. Weapon data isn't actually here yet, but course is the course of the weapon, the range is the range of the weapon, the bearing of the weapon, and then RTE is range to enable, which is where we set that little waypoint for the torpedo to go to. The range to enable is the distance to that, and the TTR is time to run, which is the amount of fuel that is left in the torpedo. Torpedoes obviously can't run forever. They do eventually run out of fuel, and as a safety measure, when they do run out of fuel, they instantly detonate. So, as not to basically just golden arrow a fishing ship like 1,000 miles, you know, like 1,000 kiloyards away. You know what I mean? They do eventually run out. Oh, just letting you know, there is plenty of buildings left. Oh no, I haven't explored Milton to any, you know, solid degree. That much I know. I know Milton. I've barely explored Milton, but just from that initial village, I didn't think there was that much there. Well, I say not that much. We've basically got 2 of entries worth of stuff. It's pretty good. Can you collide with other subs? I think so. Yeah, you can collide with other subs. Do not headbutt my mouse, Cap. Come here, give us a cuddle. What are you doing? Yes, silly cat. Just go to bed already. I'm chasing submarines. Oh shit, we're at -2. Oh fuck. This could get real nasty real quick. -1. Bring us to full stop.
Make
Okay,
turns
Cat, I
for
need you to move.
0
Shit
knots,
could get interesting.
maneuvering aye.
We're now at full stop. Dead in the water. -3. It's climbing again. Okay, fine. She's not leaving. I can't win. Okay. As long as you behave yourself, you can stay. Alright? 3.2 thousand yards from a Victor 1 nuclear attack submarine. It's fucking tense. Is the Victor 1 a nuclear attack? No, it's not, is it? It's just a diesel boat, isn't it? Is that right? No. No, it isn't. -1. Oh my fucking god, this is so close. It's so close. He's literally right next to us. He's about to go parallel. If he goes active here, we have a 28% solution. He will instantly spot us and fire on us if he goes active. We're in so much trouble if he does. Do not tread on that keyboard, Cat. I will end you. SSN is nuclear. Good man. If it has an N on it, then it's nuclear. Okay. So that is a nuclear-powered a nuclear-powered diesel-electric submarine. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, nuclear-powered attack submarine. Please stop attacking the cursor on the screen. If you tread on active sonar, I am going to ruin your life. You're going to have that dentist cat food that you absolutely hate for a week. Do not put your paw on the keyboard. Do not put your paw on the keyboard. Stop tempting fate. Move. Come on. Get on the windowsill. Crazy animal. So what's the plan? The plan is to wait for this guy to slip past, and then I'm going to whip in behind him and shoot him in his baffles, in his arse. Because basically there is a blind spot behind your ship. I was just explaining this. There's a blind spot behind you created by your own propellers and the fact that your sonar array is on the front. It's a blind spot that means that if anything is in your baffles, it doesn't matter how loud they are, you can't detect them. Now, when you fire a torpedo tube, not all ships, but some ships, and especially the skipjack here, obviously the torpedo tube is full of air up until the point that you open the chamber and let the air out and release the torpedo. That releasing of the air from the torpedo tube creates bubbles. It creates what's known as a launch transient, which is very obvious on sonar, and at this range will certainly give our position away. Oh shit, we've just gone to 0. If that goes to +1... Come on, -2 it. Come on, you bastard. Do it. Oh! Shh, nobody move. Everybody, really quiet. Really quiet. Oh, my God. Just let him past. Let him past. He's still heading straight. He's not making any course adjustments. I can't even use the ballast tanks at this point, they'd create too much noise. We are literally silent. We've got no engine running, the ballast tanks are all set, and the planes are all set. There is no major equipment running on board. We are as quiet as we possibly can. Ship is in silent running, which means we're trying to make as little noise as possible. All non-essential equipment and machinery has been turned off to reduce the amount of noise that we're making. And we are teetering on the cusp of detection here at a mere 2,700 meters, which is nothing from that Victor 1 can tell. Oh, we're back to 0. If he makes any sudden course adjustments, -2. Clang's pot. Soup! Yeah, time for subcrew band practice, yeah. Oh shit. He's making a course adjustment. Is he slowing down? He's slowing down. Right. Fire a torpedo at him. We're going to have to snapshot him. We've been detected. He's made us. Right. Firing point procedures on the bearing of Sierra 1. Ship ready, 2 ready, fire 2, 1. All ahead flank, 30 degrees.
Transient from Sierra 1.
Dive, take us down, 300 feet. It's fucking red alert time. Fire another torpedo at him. Snapshot.
Launch transient from Sierra 1. Con sonar, switching to active search. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 165.
Bring us back up, bring us back up. Level us off at 100 feet.
Sonar, lost contact.
Point his torpedoes.
Depth 100 feet, dive I.
Reload a decoy in tube 2, reload an MOSS, or yeah, fucking stay shallow. Stay shallow, go right for it. Go straight for his torpedoes, get over them before they activate. Keep the nose down.
Passing 100 feet.
Fire.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 159.
Rush him.
Fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
Right, bring us down to a head 1/3. Rig ship for silent running.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Disable active sonar. Drop off his range. Bring us back down. Take us down to 400 feet.
Make depth 400 feet, dive I.
You think we've got him?
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 149. Contact breaking up. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 2, bearing 307.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
Fucking hell. There we go, the weapons have just gone active. We made the right move, trying to just come straight at him. Now we have to wonder, shit, there are other submarines nearby. I told you the Victor 1 wasn't alone. Right, let's go active. Let's try and tempt him out of hiding wherever he's gone.
Con sonar switching to active search. Come right to 226 Helm I.
We're looking for sonar returns. A yellow sonar return is what we're after. There it is, that's where it's going. Fire on the bearing of the transient.
Aye, sir.
Sounded distant.
Con sonar switching to passive search.
Switching to passive search. Did I just fire my MOSS? No, I fired it. Did I fire an MOSS? Was that an MOSS I just shot? No, okay, that was a Mark 48. So we've fired along the bearing of contact, which is over by this humpback whale here, supposedly. That's definitely a humpback whale, I'm not imagining that.
Con, helm, steady course.
But the target is somewhere out here. This humpback whale is in the way, though. I'm going to try and stay on the opposite side of this humpback
Con,
whale.
dive.
Come right to 315 Helm I.
Hopefully it will suck up a torpedo and I won't. I could have fired back at us with those active sonar pings. I'm going to shoot it past the whale as best I can. Let's
Con,
activate
fire
it.
control, weapon acquired.
It's going to go up shallow. It is tracking the humpback. It's okay. It's alright. I don't want it to track the humpback, but it's going to have to do for now. Once we get it past the humpback, that's the important thing.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Okay, we'll try and steer it off the humpback whale now. That's the one I want. I don't want it to hit this humpback. You can see how tiny the humpback whale is. It's just like not a target at all. So the launch transient was somewhere over here. Let's set the weapon to active. Ah, here we go. Incoming weapons from this direction. So he's somewhere back here. Weapons are coming right for us. Weapons are coming right for the wreck. Okay, we're going to come 30 degrees right rudder, bring us to a head standard.
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering I.
Keep scanning, keep scanning.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 15 knots.
He's totally cloak and daggered me. I've got no idea where he is. Hopefully I don't lose the wire. I'm going to lose the wire.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 309. Contact is in the baffles.
Where am I going? Can I just, like, go the direction I want to,
Come
please,
left
which is
to
that way?
052 Helm I.
Trying to track this target. I'm on manual search here. I'm trying to search for him. Ah, target acquired. Interesting. Weapon is now tracking a
Con,
target.
helm, steady course.
An additional weapon is now passing. Right, I've got a plan. It's not a good plan.
Come right to 146 Helm I.
That's the one we're after. He's dropped a decoy. Let's keep him on target. Stay on target. Countermeasure homing. Come on, you can get past that.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Weapon acquired. You've got to get past that. Right. You know he's
Con,
over
helm,
there.
steady course.
I'm going to let the weapon just track the target organically.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Right. Take us back here as fast as we can. We've got torpedoes coming in on our rear. I want to hide behind this Victor wreck.
Make turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering aye. Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 20 knots.
Flood ballast.
Make turns for 5 knots.
Okay, make turns for 20. Keep the speed
Make
up.
turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Drop planes 10 degrees.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 20 knots.
Here come the weapons. 5 degrees positive on the planes. Slow us down to a head 2/3.
Make turns for 10 knots.
0 on the planes.
Maneuvering aye.
0 on the ballast. Close the info
Con, less
screen.
than 50 feet below the keel.
Can't I?
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 10 knots.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 296.
Right. All stop.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 295. Designated Sierra 3.
Right, all back emergency.
Maneuvering aye.
There we go. And all stop.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 295.
Weapons gone into a circular search just there. And now we wait to see what happens.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 296. Contact breaking up.
Contact breaking up, we hit it, big gaping hole. This looks to have been the target. No other nearby vessels, just nearby weapons. Weapons that I do not want to acquire. So we're going to sit put until they slip past us. Remember, he fired a third weapon much later than his original two. So we need to be careful of those. It's all very dangerous. There's that weapon that's just circling. There's a weapon that is in snaking search coming basically right for us. Right, give me 30 degrees right rudder, bring me ahead 2 knots.
Make turns for 2 knots. Maneuvering aye.
1 knot.
Make turns for 1 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I want to make sure I'm behind this boat. And that thing comes over here.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 1 knots.
We'll stop.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Right, back emergency.
Back emergency. Maneuvering aye. Con, maneuvering. Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Third, bring us to 0 knots.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
There we go. Right, creep us ahead 1 knot.
Make turns for 1 knots. Maneuvering aye.
30 degrees right rudder. Let's keep turning around the wreck. The weapon in front of us is no longer there. The weapon in front of us must have decayed and exploded. We are now out of that weapons search arc. Are there any other weapons? Nope, that is the only weapon left on our scanners. Okay, and it is now past us. Brilliant. Dive, bring us up to 200 feet, bring us a head full.
Make turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Let's get away from these bastards. Looks like we did it. Excellent stuff. Oh, God. Perfect.
Con, sonar lost.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 20 knots.
Make depth 300.
Make depth 300 feet. Dive I.
Jesus. I know that kill on the Victor was
Con,
tense.
sonar. We are cavitating.
We're cavitating, it's not too bad. Drop down to a head standard.
Con, sonar. No longer cavitating.
All we've got to do now is open
Making
range with that
turns for
torpedo and
1
exit the
5
AO.
knots.
Finally did something. I know.
Con, dive at 300 feet. Dive I.
Con I 300. And there goes the weapon. AO is clear in the vicinity of Andøya, Norway. Let us leave combat. After action reports. Enemies engaged. Victor 1 and Foxtrot 1 correctly identified. 15 Mark 48s remain. 4 MOSSs. No system damage. Let's continue. Excellent performance in locating and eliminating enemy submarines transporting Spetsnaz commandos. New orders coming on this downlink soon. We did very well. But the whale escaped. Wasn't a true victory. That was much more tricky than your first commando hunt, yes. Much trickier. AO, let's go. Right. World News, 14th of December 1984. Red submarine sunk. The Pentagon today revealed that several Soviet submarines attempting an incursion near Narvik, Norway, have been destroyed or driven off by coordinated efforts of NATO surface vessels, submarines and aircraft. The continued cooperation of NATO members was cited as pivotal to the successful outcome of this operation. Ongoing protection of many of the NATO-allied military installations throughout the theatre remains a high priority. NATO's ability to maintain control of the region is founded upon these bases. There we go. The whale was a Soviet spy. Is it time for an award? Probably not just yet. Okay, here we go. Another mission coming in. 14th of December, the next day, 6 a.m. Intelligence reports that a wolf pack of enemy diesel-electric submarines will sail within the next 7 days to attempt to transit the Guik area. The Guik? They must be sunk before they get the opportunity to cause mayhem amongst the North Atlantic convoy routes. Intelligence believes that the pack may consist of 2 to 4 Foxtrot and or Romeo-class submarines. So we're going to have Foxtrot or Romeo-class submarines attempting an incursion near the Guik area. I can't remember which one the Guik area is. Next time, make mincemeat of that whale and make mincemeat of the whale. It is fake news. The GIUK. It's Gaiuk. GIUK. Is it? Gaiuk. The Greenland, Iceland, United Kingdom gap. Oh, okay. Fucking hell. It's got an acronym. The Greenland, Iceland, United Kingdom gap. So how long do we have you for today? I'm going to play this for a little while longer. How long have we been? We're going for an hour and a half. I'll probably play for like another hour or so. Maybe a little bit longer than that. Tonight, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm either going to be playing Divinity with Messi SC and all of that. I think I'll probably be doing that. It really depends what time, or if we can get everyone together. If we can, perfect. If not, then that's no bother. Is she in the stream? Is she? Let's see. Scroll down. Yeah, there she's in there. So yeah, I'll probably be doing that tonight. If not, then I'll be watching Soviet play Warhammer. So yeah, brilliant. Gonna do some Divinity with Digby and stuff. Cool. Right, let's rock and roll. So we've got to sink the enemy submarines. We're at least fighting 2 and possibly fighting 4. So hopefully it's a kind god. So the Greenland, Iceland, UK gap. So we're going over here to the SOSUS line between Scotland and Hoffen. Greenland, Iceland, UK gap. So we're going to wait for them down and around here. Let's see what they do. They're not trying to transit the Denmark Strait. They're trying to get through down here. If you try and intercept them early, this could be them moving at a decent speed. What a deep probe there from that ASW ship. That could be the one we're after. We need to wait for more air patrols to go out. This guy looks like the guy we're after. Yeah, he's attempting a deep... Oh, it could be that guy up there, actually. Holy shit. Where is he? Where is he and where's he gone? Oh. Hello? Comrade Captain. Interesting, we might have just bumped into him. We have a new sonar contact bearing 6-1, designated as Sierra 1. XO reports that our depth is at 600 feet, heading 2066, sorry. Speed is 20 knots. Local conditions are scattered, light air. Very strong surface duct and thermal layer occupying 130 feet below the surface. Right then. That's why it's so heavily defended. You are right. Okay, so let's close to let's close to 20,000 yards.
On sonar.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Rig ship for silent running. We have lost contact with Sierra 1. We're rigging for silent so that we can try and find them. Sonar, take a sounding. Total water depth is 1,400 feet and getting deeper. Very high up from the ocean floor. As I say, crush depth is quite low. Or it's quite shallow. Only 800 feet we can get down to without the risk of breaking.
Con, sonar, new contact bearing 061. Designated Sierra 1.
Sierra 1, contact identified. Let's begin.
Con,
RTI.
sonar, new contact bearing
Sierra 2, much closer.
093. Designated Sierra 2.
Someone's going active. Drop down to 3 knots.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Let's try and ID this ship. Who are you, and what are you doing
maneuvering.
here?
Making turns for 3 knots.
Not a Romeo. Not a Kilo. Let's try that again. It's not a whiskey. Not a foxtrot. It's not a tango. Not sure what this ship does match. Sorry, am I being dumb? What is this that we bumped into? There are ways for me to more easily find out using game mechanics what we've bumped into, but I'd rather not. I'd rather try and ID the target. Oh, we're being pinged. 2 types of active sonar, high and low frequency active, so... No, not an andazan. I don't think it's biologic. It's floating around a typical Russian frequency. I just can't ID it. Kolnin, a cannon. We bumped into an ASW
Sierra
fleet.
2 is classified as escort.
Take us down to 800 feet.
Make depth 800 feet, dive I.
Urgent dive. Let's keep scanning. So we've got surface contacts. Not good. Oh shit, the
Con, sonar,
dynamic duo.
Sierra 1 is classified as escort.
Cannon and Eudeloy. Shit. And closing fast. Okay. We're being pinged the shit out of. We're going to have to fire. They're closing fast as well. What's the target speed? Unknown as of this time. Target solution? Unknown as of this time. Okay, we're going to fire 2 weapons. Fuck my life. Okay, snapshot 2 weapons on the bearing of the cannon and the Udaloy. Fire tube 3. Sorry, fire tube 3. Run them shallow. Fire tube 3.
Shoot 2-3.
And fire
Aye, sir.
tube 6.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
We're just below it.
Con, sonar. Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 037.
Dive take us down another 50 feet.
Make depth 850 feet. Dive by.
Activate the weapon. Activate this weapon now. Search it on target.
Con, sonar. Lost contact. Sierra 2. Last bearing 098. Contact faded.
Reload a decoy. Fire a decoy into the fleet.
Shoot 2-4.
Tube 4.
Aye, sir.
Fire.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
Lost the wire.
Con, sonar. Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 266. Con, sonar. Lost contact. Sierra 1.
Con, knuckle formed.
Contact in the baffles. Reload MOSS in tube 4. I've used missiles in the past, but don't use missiles at the moment. Let's get down. We've got to get deeper with this countermeasure.
Passing 900 feet.
900 feet. We're at crush depth.
Con, torpedo room.
Con, maneuvering.
Let's come
Making
shallow.
turns for 30 knots.
Con, knuckle formed.
Con,
Passing 900 feet.
Torpedo.
Passing 800 feet.
I can walk the walk
Passing 700 feet.
with this particular vessel. Got 2 shallows coming in.
Passing 600 feet.
Let's stay deep. Turn in on the torpedo.
Passing 600 feet.
I can get below this bastard. I can get below this bastard as well. I'm faster than you two.
Passing 700 feet.
You're only
Con,
airdrops.
sonar. Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 043. Con, sonar. Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water.
Oh no! It hit us on the stern. It broke our back. Can we abandon ship? Hull pressure breached. Ah, it's breached beyond fucking crush depth. God, it fucked us up. Why did that fuck us up? It was only a hit on the stern. That should be a free flood area back there. It's jammed our propeller, but we should still have control over propulsion. God, now we just get fucking shafted. Here we go. For God's sake. That one's gonna hit. Oh, okay. Well, apparently the way to avoid torpedoes is just to slowly sink. Okay, this is how you avoid torpedoes. We didn't stand much of a chance against that ASW fleet, let me tell you that. That was dangerous. We didn't even sink them either. We are sinking faster than they can aim at us. That is hilarious. Cool. Well, there we go. Vessels nearby, weapons nearby, aircraft nearby. We've got flooding. There's nothing we can do about this. We're fucked basically. Leave combat. Sunk by a UGMT-1 torpedo. Lost with all hands. Well, that's that then. Nuclear sub sunk. A NATO spokesman has confirmed that a US nuclear attack submarine has been lost in action. Although the details are incomplete at this time, sources close to the Pentagon say the submarine was lost with all hands during the course of duty. Defeat in Europe! Warsaw Pact forces continue to drive back NATO by opening a new major offensive this morning. Meanwhile, Soviet naval forces have effectively cut off the North Atlantic convoy lines, leaving NATO forces in Europe with little hope of reinforcements. Everything hinges on Joe's submarine. Oh well. Well, rip. I know, yeah, that was skill at the end there. Yep, the only submarine in the whole NATO inventory. Well done, I've lost the West. The little skipjack that couldn't. Cool. Well, shit, there we go. Another newspaper heading. UK blockaded. Several Soviet naval forces have taken the initiative and now dominate the Atlantic and Norwegian Sea. Transatlantic resupply convoys struggle to make the journey, and the escalating loss of materials and men at sea only makes it a matter of time before they stop arriving altogether. Currently in exile, political leaders from occupied territories have voiced strong concern over the risk of the Iron Curtain being brought further west. Fears of permanent occupation have sparked a refugee crisis, with hundreds of thousands fleeing NATO's contracted border areas. And another newspaper article. The Iron Curtain draws over Europe. Hundreds of thousands of refugees flee towards the English Channel as the red stain of communism finally dominates the continent in occupied Europe. It is rumoured that many from the middle class and academia are being sent to... Academia? It sounds like a fucking vampire country. Anyway, are being sent to re-education camps in increasing numbers. The Soviet occupying forces have clamped down further on security in response to what they claim are actions of subversion by capitalist class enemies. Uncertain times ahead. Due to the economic and military strain of the recent conflict, analysts expect that despite the cessation of hostilities, the Cold War climate will return and indeed persist and escalate for decades to come. Dente now seems a naive fantasy. The recent clash will no doubt require sustained future expansion of military expenditures and continuing domestic sacrifices, both by Eastern nations and by Western nations that remain free. Any other newspapers? No. USS Scamp, SSN 588, 6 days at war. Missions accomplished 2. We sank 16,000 tons of equipment. Final outcome: there was little hope for you and your crew. The twisted remains of the USS Scamp have come to rest on the sea floor, a lasting monument to all those brave souls who served aboard. Well, shit. Well, that's that. Well, the thing before... Oh, there we go. So that's the credits. Nobody likes credits. Okay. Let's think about it then. I'm happy to start another campaign. So, what campaign do we want to do? Do we want to do another campaign? Shall we take out a British submarine where the Americans failed? Should we do that? Should we take a Great British one out, or should we take one from one of the satellite or one of the neighbouring NATO states? What should we do? What is the plan here? Godmama, you miss Sub G and your damn phone voice. My phone voice. What do we do? 68 campaign. I'm terrible at the 60. I'm really bad at the 68 campaign. French subs. We could do some French subs. Can you actually finish any campaign? You can finish it if you're not terrible, which I am. Got German subs, Churchill subs. Let's have a look. Campaign. Let's go for a 1984. Just 19 Atlantic save. That's right. So we got all the UK subs. We're looking for GBP. Or GBR even. Right, so we've got, obviously the Astute is slightly too new to be included in this. So that's, we've got the Trafalgar, we've got the Swiftsure. Trafalgar and Swiftsure being our more modern submarines. The Trafalgar being a very capable submarine for the time. I wouldn't say it rivaled the Los Angeles class, but it was pretty good for different reasons. We could do French submarines. Let's see what the French have up there. It's their slivs. France. So we've got the Redoutable class submarine. It has no defensive weapons. It's got F-17 torpedoes and Exocet missiles. It has got... it's quite shit. In a word, yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, it's not terrible. 140 decibels, so it's just a little bit quieter, or a little bit, yeah, just a little bit quieter than our Skipjack. I don't think we'd last very long in this one. Oh dear, Baguette class, yeah, Baguette class submarine. What else have we got? We've got the Rubis, much quieter submarine, much more interesting, this one. We've got low, medium... Yeah, we've got a towed array, low frequency, French subs. The Rubis type is a first-class generation nuclear attack submarine of the French Navy. The class comprises 6 vessels, and they are the most compact nuclear attack submarines to date. All submarines of this class, except for the Casabianca, are named after gemstones. Curious. Yeah, 50 knot reverse speed. It can pull 28 knots, which isn't terrible, and it has a crush depth of 1,320 feet, which is pretty good for a submarine of this size. It has Exocet missiles and F-17 torpedoes, as well as decoys. So a pretty basic loadout, nothing too complex. To see a 68 diesel electric. I'm really bad with the diesel electrics though. Like I have to get better at manually aiming the. Basically, there are the torpedoes that we've got. I would call fire and forget, sort of wire-guided fire and forget missiles. But the other torpedoes are like dumbfires. You have to fire the torpedo, and it has to basically hit them square on, like a darts player. You have to fire it, and you can't steer it. So dangerous. One of these days, can you do an AU? Yeah, we could do an AU. They're firing F7. They're firing fighter jets. That's right. Let's do a French sub then. For the meantime, it will be docking at Holy Lock. So let's have a look here. So new command assignment. Effective immediately. You are hereby in command of the Rubis class submarine, the Pearl, or is that the Pelé or the Pearl? I think it's I think it's actually the word for pearl. You're not playing the French now, eh, Quebec? I certainly am. Is that pearl or Pelé? Words. You probably already answered it by the time this pops up in the delay. Have we got any French in? It's pearl in French, so the Pearl. It's actually the Black Pearl. Captain Barbossa. I missed an opportunity there. Right, or Commander Barbossa. So we know the story. Russians invade the West, so on and so on. The little submarine that could. Okay, tactical situation. It is the 28th of November rather than December. We're in the war a little bit earlier this time, at 1400 hours. Satellite recon has revealed an enemy raider group transiting at high speed towards the North Norwegian coast. We believe a small UNREP force is operating in this area. What's UNREP? Jive Turkey told me what UNREP was, but I can't remember what UNREP is. You are ordered to interdict this group and sink the replenishment ships in the area. You may also get a chance at enemy warships, the enemy warships this group intends to support, but tenders and tankers are the mission target. Lovely. Oh dear. Oh dear. Under repair? I'm not sure. Unrep? I'm not entirely sure. I could Google it. Underway replenishment. So it's so we believe a small unrep force is operating in this area. So replenishment tankers and tenders, and they're in. Sorry, let's have a look at that again. North Norwegian coast. Let's see what we've got in terms of weaponry. We've got these. We've got 6 exocets that we're going to keep. We're just going to keep the default loadout, I think. Hello. Come on. What? Hello. This is the other cat, not the one that was annoying us earlier. See you later, Godmama. Right, so the Exocet and the F-17. I'm not entirely sure what the capability of the F-17 is. It looks like a decent torpedo. And then we've got standard MOSS's. So, let's cast off. So we've got to get to the North Norwegian coast. Not the fastest submarine, but it's not terrible either. So they're transiting at high speed. We're in the North Norwegian coast. Let's see if we can't catch them while we're transiting. We've got to interdict them, remember. They should be following this North Coast Road, the North Coast Road. They should be coming around here now. There's somebody that's frozen there. I wonder if that's them. somebody just got bugged here. I think there is a bugged fleet here. Comrade Captain, we have a new sonar contact bearing 294 designated as Sierra 1. Let's just close to 15,000 yards, rig for silent running.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
There we go, we're coming down. So we're in a French ship, the Rubis, or the Pearl, the Black Pearl. So we're slowing down now. Hello, cat, look. Why are you being annoying?
Con sonar new contact bearing 294 designated Sierra 1.
Okay, Sierra 1 identified. Let's see what ship
Con
or
sonar
what
new
fleet has
contact
frozen
bearing
out here.
204 designated Sierra 2.
Here we are, right. So, let's begin our target motion analysis. Let's assume it's surface ships. We know it is, so let's start scanning what we know. These are NATO, Belknaps, Iowas, Essex, the Kiev and the Kirov. Here we go, this is where we want to be. So we know we've got surface ships. But which surface ships are we after? It's a commune. Is there any doubt that this is in fact a Soviet ship? Okay.
Con sonar Sierra 1 is classified.
Oh, I'll tap out.
Merchant.
Well, okay. Well, it's a fucking massive cargo ship. And let's check out Sierra 2. Must be its escort. Or maybe it's not. It's an Antizan.
Con sonar Sierra 2 is classified as merchant.
Well, they're both hostile merchant ships. Let's just give it a tickle of left on the rudder. Come left bearing, let's go 289.
Come left to 289. Helm aye.
Right, well. Use the baguette torpedo. We do not discriminate against. We do not.
Con sonar new contact bearing 292 designated Sierra 3.
Well, this very quickly became slanderous for the French.
Helm, steady course.
Sierra 3 I'm suspecting is a biologic. Let's have a look. An interesting signature, that's for sure. It's TMA, that shit. Was it that? No. Cresta. Definitely on the right band for Soviet. It's a cannon. Oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ. The cat just jumped like fucking like a nutter then. Jesus.
Con sonar Sierra 3 is classified as escort.
Escort ship identified. Oh, God, sorry, I'm just standing up and stretching my fucking legs. There we go. Right. Okay. So the cannon is the armed one. So this could be the fleet we're after. Maybe they bugged out. The communist ship was too heavy. Couldn't possibly sail into capitalist waters. That's metalhead. Jeez. Jesus. Right, so target's at 10,000 yards. I wonder if that cannon is closing. He is closing. They're coming this way. Curious. Why is he coming this way? I can't do much while the cannon's on the far side of the communist. Oh dear. We'll just keep doing what we're doing, nice and quiet. Nice and sneaky. They're not really doing anything at a particularly high speed. It's quite interesting, to be honest. The annoying thing is that we're quite close to them, but we're barely detecting them. Maybe I should come up shallower. Let's come up to 400 feet.
Make depth at 400 feet, dive I.
Maybe that will improve the TMA. Up we come. So these weapons can search shallow or deep. They can't search on the same level. And they are... Oh! Now that's interesting. The F-17 is only a passive homing weapon. Very interesting. So this weapon is going to be nigh useless in heavy storm conditions. Now that's interesting. Target solution is improving. I want to get a soggy solution. I want to get a solid solution before I commit to firing anything. You want me to do a French language? There you go. That was it. Right. I know, 1984 and only passive torpedoes. They're closing, believe it or not. Oh, I can't stop yawning now. We're forever cursed. You're disappointed.
Dive at 400 feet, dive
Disappointed with my Mon French accent. Oh, that was awful. Oh, I don't. Are the French a race? I can't really call them that. I don't want it to be border. I can't even remember like a decent French accent. I like to sort of channel a particular person that I've either seen or met in the past, and I'm really struggling to channel people. Just shouting "we baguette" is not. Fuck's sake. Are the French a race? Quebec 2018. Is it xenophobia? Is that it? The French have all got mouths inside of their mouths that like spring out and bite people. True fact. Right, let's see what's going on. Target solution is still shite, to be honest. Oh shit! Now he's pinging us with active. That changes things. Let's fire a launch at him. Let's get him interested. Firing point procedures bearing 292. Range to enable 4,200 yards. Ship ready. Tube ready. Fire tube 1.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
That looks shit. That looks like a terrible torpedo, and it's moving like a bucking bat out of hell. The actual phone's going, so just give me a moment. So I'm just going to pause the game. Just give us. Uno momento, por favor. That's Spanish. Oh god, she owes me. Yeah. I just a colleague from sorry, I just had my store manager just ring me up saying that a colleague that I work with has had this like huge complaint, and that she just wanted to meet me to confirm her story. Now, yeah, like me and this colleague are, you know, pretty buddy. So I just said, yeah. She did it all by the book. It's just the customer, which actually was the case. So yeah. Right. Fucking hell, that was I don't know, it's fucking. You play one game of LA Noire and then suddenly you're in the middle of a fucking crime spree or whatever. Okay, brilliant. So, have a quick drink of water. This is what Womble. If you see the VOD, water bottle, put it next to your desk. Make your life a lot easier. Right. Press X to doubt. Raise the white flag of war. Yeah, that's right. That's the communist up there. Curious. I'm below this weak thermal layer, but I'm not confident in its ability to keep me hidden. This is the thing I don't understand about customers, right? Sorry, because again, I work in retail, I work in a shop, and we work in an optician. Now, the annoying thing about an optician is that it's kind of half retail, half clinical. It's not clinical and it's not retail. It's kind of half and half. Let me see if there's any weapons coming in. Nope, the only weapon I can detect is my F-17 Mon Baguette weapon. Don't help Womble, he's a Soviet and the enemy. Yes! Womble's a filthy fucking commie. Better dead than red, as the saying goes. There's the cannon. Adjust course. That's an accurate marker. Okay, we're changing the course of the weapon to track the target. This better sink it in one hit. Where does the white flag and surrender come from? World War II. I think it predates that by a very long way. When you make an interesting. Oh, we're being depth charged.
Ballast system has been damaged.
Ballast tanks have been damaged.
Damage control parties. Into the reactor space.
Didn't breach the hull, but it's damaged it. Right.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Weapon acquired. We've got a spread of torpedoes coming in. Take us deeper, please. Dive 600 feet.
Make depth 600 feet. Dive I.
Take us down. No jump scare this time. Yeah, sorry, I'm feeling a little bit braver. Let's steer the weapon back on target. God, it turns very fast.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Just get it past that countermeasure. Take us down further, 600 and 700 feet, 700 feet.
Make depth 700 feet. Dive I.
Come on, you got it.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing.
Oh, noisemaker's here.
276.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
So it says the cannon is here, but the last countermeasure was just dropped there, which means the cannon must be just past it. This marker is inaccurate.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Just got to get it past this weapon. Ballast tanks are being repaired. Where is the cannon?
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Weapon acquired.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 278.
We're getting him. We're getting him. We're tracking something.
Con, fire control, weapon.
Con sonar,
Ooh,
lost
got him.
contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 278. Contact breaking up.
We are deep here. Where's that weapon? I can hear it somewhere in front of me. I can hear it, but I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Fuck me. Less than 50 feet below the keel. We're just creeping under it now. Let's reload. Let's reload tube 4 with an MOSS. And let's reload tube 2 with a...
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Let's rig tube 2 with one of those missiles, an extra set. Let's see how it does. There goes that cannon. The weapon is searching just in front of us.
Con, dive at 700 feet.
On. Ballast system has been repaired.
Fuck me on life, that scared me. We're not grounded yet. The water's actually getting deeper as we progress here. We're just passing underneath a torpedo now. I'm going to have to fire torpedoes, actually. Let's fire one on the bearing of the Communist. So, firing point procedures, bearing 298, bearing 1,100... Sorry, 1,100... 11.3 kiloyards. Ship ready, tube ready, fire
Con,
tube
sonar. Torpedo
2.
in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 285.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Torpedoes tracking us, we've been detected. 30 degrees left rudder. Dump a decoy.
Passing 700 feet.
Con, fire control. We've lost the
Oh my god! Oh shit!
Passing 600
Right,
feet.
okay, let's reload an MOSS in tube 2.
Con, sonar.
Passing 500 feet.
Con, sonar. We are cavitating. Con, sonar. No longer cavitating.
All we've got to do now is going to go into a
Con,
circular
sonar.
search.
We are cavitating.
So all we've got to do is try and stay
Make
above
con,
him.
sonar. No longer cavitating.
Could Tokyo drift it, get full rise on the ballast tanks, and just sit shallow, basically.
Passing 4.
Give us a head 1/3.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I just got to get up above him, which the ballast tanks are doing nicely.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
Are you drifting in a submarine? I basically am. I'm trying to get above this torpedo search arc. So I lost the wire, but that torpedo should hit the Communist. Should.
Passing 300 feet.
All I need to do is come shallow. Once I get to 200 feet, I can fire my Exocet missile on the bearing of the Andazan. Right, all stop.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Can't fire below that many feet. Right, all back,
Back emergency. Maneuvering aye.
There we go, that brings us down to
Make
0
turns
knots.
for
Lovely.
0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Right, hold here. Right. What's the target solution of the Andazan? 81% and improving. Once that gets to 90-95%, we'll fire a weapon at them. I need to play some spicy Eurobeat. Oh, I do actually like spicy Eurobeat. I'm going to put some spicy Eurobeat on. Just in the background, just quietly. I don't know what, I do actually really... I don't. You said that, and now I really fancy listening to some spicy Eurobeat. Right. There we go. Just in the background. Right, cool. I should probably turn off the in-game music, shouldn't I? Just for now. Right, there's the Andazan.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Right, we're tracking the target there. So according to this, we should fire the Exocet missile at this blue mark here. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think we should fire it about there. Wide search arc. It's not going to take that long. It's only 5,000 yards, and it's a missile, for fuck's sake. So ship ready, tube ready. Firing point procedures, bearing 155, range to enable 5,700 yards. Ship ready, tube ready, fire tube 3.
Shoot tube 3. Aye, sir.
Oh, fucking hell.
Con, lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 160. Contact breaking up.
Oh, the poor guy. It looks like it's just a fishing boat. Did I just blow up a fishing boat for no reason? I thought it was an Andersan. Hang on. Did I misidentify? That is not an Andersan. I think I just blew up a random fishing boat. It's not an Andersan. It's just a fishing boat. Oh. Turn off the Eurobeat. We just blew up a fishing boat. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, dearie me. Well, whoopsie daisy. What's Edberg streaming? Okay. Let's just checking in with Eddie, see what's going on. Right. Well, that was a bit camp. Fucking hell. Jesus. Right. Let me reopen my own fucking stream because I'm useless. I can't believe I just blasted a fishing boat to Kingdom Come. For God's sake. Well, shit, as the saying goes. Cool. Right, that should refresh my chat there. How's this weapon do? We've actually got... What? A very shallow torpedo. This one's tracking the target. Where is this one going? It's chasing the communist. Quick, paint the sub red and surface. Yeah. We have solid proof. Are you willing to testify? No. You're willing to testify against me after unlike me and my colleague there. He's not the real Quebec. Where is this fucking F-17 torpedo, whatever it is, thing going? But it's come shallow like this. I can only assume that it's tracking. This must be tracking a target, simply because it's a zigzag search weapon, and it's going straight, which is the only way. It's actually flying there. Oh, I can hear. Can you hear that? I can hear an engine. Left in your right earphone, you should be hearing an engine. Can you hear that? It's likely going to hit home. I can hear an engine out of my right ear. Communist is a big boy as well. It can't get anywhere. Can still pull 18 knots, which is a hell of a lot for a fucking 12,000 ton cargo ship. This weapon is sneaking in. I don't know whether we'll sink it in one hit. Dive, bring us up to periscope depth.
4, 5 feet, dive by.
Reload tube 2. I've proved to everyone that French submarines can sink things. There's definitely a boat. I can hear the boat. It's getting closer. Any second off, the magic torpedo is going to blow up. It's like a fucking bin lorry coming up the road. Jeez. Whoa! There we go. The target has not been destroyed.
Con, dive at 4, 5 feet, dive by.
Fuck it, do I need to reload an exocet here? I know it's only 11,000 yards, but for fuck's sake, what's going on? Right, raise the radar.
Raise the radar mast.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
Okay, it's sort of slowing down. We did hit it on the stern. She'll be taking on water. She's virtually not listed. She's a big girl. Right, reload tube 2 with an exocet. Edberg, I know you're playing
Con,
PUBG.
torpedo
Get off
room,
my
tube
screen.
3
There you go.
ready.
Right, let's reload an Exocet missile in Tube 2. No doubt that that one's Russian. We've really fucked her up. She's had to drop from 18 knots to 10 knots because of the amount of water she's taken on. Very big ship. Would you say that's a cargo ship or a tanker of some sort? That looks like cargo to me. Very big cargo ship. Oh yeah, she's really listing to port when she rolls there. Yeah, Jesus. Water's coming right up. You can see how much it's listing by how much of the red side of the ship here. Oh yeah, look at that. Fucking hell, she's taken on a lot of water at the stern. I wonder how long it will. I wonder if she'll just sink out. She is taking on a lot of water. She's kind of staying buoyant, but there's water coming in. I think.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
She's trying to limp away. I say ramming speed. Think buoyant thoughts. Yeah, a freighter full of fish from the trawler I just sunk. They're definitely taking on water at the stern there. It's difficult to say whether they are, but it really does look like it. Just by how high the water's getting on the sides here. Oh yeah, look at that. Is she going under though? Do I need to fire another one? Should we fire something else at it, or should we just see if she sinks out? Should we fire another Exocet missile, or should we just wait and see what happens? Because the Exocet can travel for miles. Like, I can fire it up here, like 30 kilometers away. Should we see if she lists and sinks? You shall fire the missiles. Very well. Let us get ready to fire then. Okay, firing point procedure on the bearing of the Communist, which is bearing 296, range to enable 14,100 yards. Ship ready, tube ready, fire tube 2 of tube 3.
Shoot tube 3. Aye, sir.
There goes, you can see her out there with the smoke. There we go, the rocket booster's just engaged. Reload an F-17 torpedo in tube 3. Looks like it might actually miss. It should just steer onto the target very suddenly in a moment. There it is. And there she goes.
Master 1, last bearing 294. Contact breaking up.
Now that was a seriously nasty hit. She's stalled out and she's immediately taking on a critical amount of water. We just extended that gap rather substantially there. Fucking hell, she's just hemorrhaging now. She had bad flooding before. A hit in the same place is causing her to just wreck in a big way. That's a massive ship we're sending under. Take that, fishing boats. There was no doubt that that one's Russian. That one was flying Russian flags. So we've got flooding, apparently. Let's have a look. What's caused that? Damage control. Where is the flooding? It's not in the. It's in the towed array room. We've got flooding.
Damage control parties. Lay to the engine room.
Engine room has got flooding. Okay. Looks like we did have a breach. Totally flooded our what's it control room, our ballast tank room, or sorry, our towed array. The room that's responsible for the towed array readings has just been underwater for the last little while, so. Did a nice big mark on the side of the hull there where that depth charge got a bit too close. Yeah, what's caused the flooding? I wonder. What is a towed array? I'd advise you Google it. Yes, the towed array. Towed as in like towed behind you like a trailer. Right, there we go. Flooding is under control now. We can now leave combat. Okay. So, first of all, that wasn't a communist, it was a Chilean. But the cannon was right. Let's see what. Good to hear you intercepted and destroyed the replenishment resources. We'll ignore the fishermen. Yes. Commendation for sinking a fishing boat. Citation. Commander Quebec is cited for extraordinary heroism against the enemies of the United States of America and France on the 30th of November 1984. His unwavering resolve and self-sacrificing devotion to duty in the face of death are worthy of the highest emulation. Yes! Oh my god. Perfect. What else do you want? Must have been a Russian fishing boat, clearly. Although the Camillican is still a big catch, so holy shit. Was an extraordinary heroism against fishermen. Exactly. Well, shit. Okay. The Navy moves in. No fishing boats are safe. Okay. News presenter voice. NATO warships and submarines have taken up several new strategic positions, including some around the Norwegian coast, in response to significantly reduced naval activity. Sources close to the Pentagon say that the war is taking a heavy toll on the enemy and operations, and that their supply lines words continue to be heavily strained. Recent NATO gains at sea have decreased the number of...
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
You just sink my fucking boat. Many vessels from these regions have been rapidly reassigned to escort duties to better protect NATO convoys carrying much-needed arms and armour from the United States to the United Kingdom. There we go. Norwegian. It's not wrong. It's not. It could be more wrong. Right. The problem is that we have to micromanage that flooding. We've got to micromanage the flooding, which is just like hoodoo. That is going to be a pain in the arse. Big time. Oh dear. Oh dear man. Right. Sweet. Let's see what's going on. So, intel reports that a wolf pack of enemy diesel-electric attack submarines will sail within the next 7 days to attempt to transit the Greenland, Iceland, UK area. Look, I learn quickly, I do. They must be sunk before they get the opportunity to cause mayhem along the North Atlantic convoy routes. Intelligence believes the pack may consist of 2 to 4 Foxtrots and or Romeo-class submarines. Lovely. Could be worse, it could be raining. You should ask HQ for a repair. I can't ask them for a repair. They have to delegate me for repairs. Unless there is something that I don't know about. Is there a way to ask for repairs? I'm pretty sure you just have to wait for a repair mission to appear. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Oh dear. Who ask really nicely and don't tell them about the fishing boat? Come on, cat. Are you coming up? What? Where are you? Where is this cat? Come here. You coming up? Oi. Get up here. Jump. There you go. You got it. What? Do you want to say hello to the stream? Do you? You can say hello? No? Okay. You're just going to just say nothing. Clearly nothing worth talking about. Just go back to the port and repair. The problem is, Lord Bay, is that if I just go back to port and repair, then I will probably lose out on this mission. I probably won't have enough time to repair that hull, that damage to the hull, and replenish.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
You ain't getting no fucking repair after that. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's one of those ones. Weapon free on designated targets only. Right, so we need to pull back. At least we'll be in sort of the right sort of area to tiptoe over to Holy Loch and repair after the mission, but not before. We're in the right neck of the woods at least. Do the mouse noise. The mouse noise. Shush, why are you telling me off? What have I done? Come here. The question is, where's that sub? This could be them. I kind of want to wait till they're a bit closer. I'm probably going to ambush them sort of down here. I know this is where they like to sail. This is going to be them. This is so going to be them. Right, I'm going to meet them head on, like right here. This is them. Right. Comrade Captain, we have a new sonar contact bearing 283, designated as Sierra 1. XO reports that our depth is at 600 feet, heading 140. Our speed is 20 knots. Local conditions are stormy with high wind. Moderate surface duct and moderate thermal layer. This is bad for us, because we do not have active weaponry. Zen... Oh dear, sorry, terrible indigestion. Zenth, or Zeth Zukin, thank you very much for the 100 bits, sir. Right then, Comrade Captain. Yeah, it's just a thing with the mod. The idea is that you play Russian submarines with this mod on, but I just keep it on for the sake of not having to install it every time I want to play it. So we're going to close to 15,000 yards. Rig ship for silent running. Background noise is a very disastrous 107 decibels, which means our passive homing weapons are really not going to stand much of a chance at finding the targets. Let's see, damage control. This room is flooding again. Not much we can do about it. We'll have to surface, and unfuck the that room there. But at least there is flooding, yes, but the actual towed array system seems to be working fine, so it's not too bad. Can you control ships, or is it only? It is only submarines, I'm afraid. I think maybe they're adding ships, but I don't know. I think maybe when the game goes live, like when they do full release, there will be like a multiplayer mode, and you will be able to play ships, like anti-submarine ships. So one side can play NATO submarines, and one side could play Soviet ASW warships and submarines as well, I imagine. This cat is really annoying. Right, okay. You just want to scratch, don't you? This will probably be my last stop, and then I'm going to bounce off, so let's see. Move away, cat. Right. I can't detect anything because this ship is terrible. We're going to come to all stop and see if anything sort of sticks out.
0 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Bloody cat hairs over everything. I've got cat hairs in my eyes. Satan. I think I'm just gonna get some of the cat hair out. I'm just gonna point this fan at my face. Oh yeah, that's way better. I bet that sounds terrible on the mic. Let me just turn that off. Right. Right, okay. I can't detect anything, so we're going to go to a head 1/3 and we're going to go active.
Make turns for
This is a shit idea.
knots. Maneuvering eye. Con, maneuvering, making turns for
We're just going to
5
snapshot
knots.
along the bearings of the contacts.
Come left to 074. Helm aye.
Trying to find him. There's one. Fire off to our rear.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
It was distant, so we'll bring it out to like 2,000 yards. It can only search passively, so we'll set the weapon to run. That was our only contact.
Con, helm, steady course.
Interesting that I got a contact from over here. Bring me back in this
Come left
direction.
to 275. Helm aye.
What kind of search pattern have I been using usually? I don't really know any search patterns like Breed, I'll be honest. I just sort of drive around until I find stuff, if I'm brutally frank. I heard that. Hang on.
Con, sonar, switching to passive search.
I just heard a launch transient. Did you hear it? I did. That's the one we've sent away. I just heard a launch transient from somewhere, and we're only in like 400 foot of water.
Come right to 004. Helm aye.
So we're just going to leave this torpedo here to snaking search. Just go out and see what it finds.
Con, helm, steady course.
Get it to search deep, the torpedo. There. Do you see it? 2 times torpedoes coming in. This is a problem, because there's not enough water to evade. All ahead flank.
Make turns for 2.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Shit, that is bad. There's nothing I can do about it there. I've got to bring us down 26, 25, 24,
Make
24
turns
knots.
for 2. Make turn.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Can't I? Weapon.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
We've lost the wire. Okay. In they come. This one's...
Con, maneuvering.
That one's
making
not too
turns
bad.
For 2.
This one's the
4
problem.
knots.
Decent acceleration on this sub. Any other torpedoes coming in? No visual. No visual. I'm starting to hear the running sound of the torpedo through the hydrophone. You can hear the whine of the electric motor, or the engine that powers it. I don't know why I'm talking quietly all of a sudden. That's our weapon. Searching in snake. We might have just avoided these two if we keep on this course. No other visual transients. Weapon is remaining on a snaking search. This weapon probably won't find anything in this weather, unless we pretty much smack it right on the nose. There goes those torpedoes. Another launch transient. 2 launch transients. Picked up on the hydrophone. Let's keep our current course. 5 degrees left rudder. Basically flying blind here. My active array is going to reveal my position, but my passive array can't penetrate the storm that's above us. It's all very sort of horrible up there. And my weapons can't search in these conditions. This is a bad fight. Definitely on the back foot. There go those torpedoes.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Tube 1I. Weapon is now flying straight. Weapon has acquired a target. Excellent. The snaking warhead has picked something up. Seems to be some sort of shelf here, some sort of ridge. Okay, the torpedo found its mark. It's now tracking something. It fired a spread of torpedoes back along the bearing. Oh! Just hit something on the stern. Looks like a Romeo. Okay. With 1 down, let's bring it down to 5 knots.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I've thought of playing Subnautica. I don't know. It's like I've seen, like I'm somebody who very much does Twitch, but also watches Twitch and watches YouTube. I've seen other people play Subnautica, which means a lot of the exploration and the surprise isn't there, which is one of the reasons I haven't. If you know what you're looking
Making
for,
turns
Judo or
5
Jodo.
knots.
Oh shit. Torpedo's just gone active, close proximity to our stern. Just off the bow. It's coming right for us. Right, all ahead flank.
Make turns for
Con sonar, we are
We've
cavitating.
got to get out of the way of this one. And now. Fire an MOSS along the bearing of the weapon.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
Let's get it going. Let's get it going
make
the other
turns
way
for 2
before it even
0
starts chasing
knots.
us.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
No longer cavitating. Well,
Con. Make turns for. Make turns for
Where am I
2
going?
8.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Dead Angel. Hey Quebec, just dropping in to say hi. Hope you enjoy your day. Thank you very much, Dead Angel. It's very kind.
Come left to 1 2 3 helm aye.
So what I did there, I just fired a weapon decoy off in that direction in an attempt to fool this weapon that's coming for us. Hopefully it will work. We need to stop cavitating though.
Make con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 2 0 knots.
Can't you surface to rapidly dodge it? Because no, it turns back around. They've got homing warheads. They'll track me. I can't just surface to hide from it, because it will come up to the surface with me. Am I reading your readouts right? You're at 400 depth and the bottom is 407. No, I'm at 407 and the depth is at 498. So my current depth is 407 feet. Ocean floor is at 503. It's getting deeper because we're going
Con, torpedo
out
room,
north,
tube
I
2
believe.
ready.
Oh no, we're coming into shore. Looks like there's sort of a small trench here. Where are we in relation to all of this? There we go. Torpedo has acquired that decoy. Good, 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 good. But it's lost the decoy. Bring us down to ahead 1/3.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
It should now start tracking this MOSS again. There you go, it's going in a big circle, and then it's going to reacquire this as a target because we've slinked away.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 5
There we go.
knots.
So this torpedo has now been fooled by this, which to a torpedo sounds like a submarine. So it is tracking it rather than me. So I'm running very quietly now. Okay, let's go active again.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
Try and get a response. We need to turn round.
Come right to 282 helm aye.
There's another torpedo down here just tracking past us. There he is. We need to try and get a response from someone so we know where to fire. We're looking for a big yellow line. Big yellow line. There it is. There's the response.
Shoot con sonar, switching to passive search.
Passive search. So what I don't want is my own weapon to get sucked up on these weapons. So somewhere, I would say, out here is a hostile submarine. I need to get it past my decoy so that my own torpedo doesn't get stuck on my own decoy. We'll set the weapon to search, where are we, 400 feet? We'll get it to search shallow. Okay. This works. Remember, there's at least 2, but possibly 4. No, the torpedo sonars, you can see, are pinging my ship with a red line. A yellow line is a ship sonar ping. You think he's following the torpedo that's following your decoy? Perhaps, it's hard to say. What I don't want to happen is that you see how this torpedo has been confused by this special bit of kit here. I don't want this torpedo to be stuck in the same way this is. I don't want them to get stuck together. Let's just check for launch transients. That's our weapon. That's the weapon that's chasing the decoy. That's the sunken ship. No visual on transient. There. 1 times torpedo coming in shallow. Right. Let's bring us ahead to...
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
30 degrees right rudder. Bring us back the other way.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
Okay, so that other weapon just exploded. It just gave up.
Con, helm, steady course.
So now we go active. Now we're searching along the last known bearing of the target with a passive homing warhead. That's our weapon there. Enemy weapon is there, closing in on us. Ahead full.
Make turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Bring us left 013.
Come left to 013. Helm aye.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 20.
We're not going to be able to get out of the way of this one in time.
We've lost the wire.
We're not going to be able to get out of the way in time. All ahead flank,
Make
28 knots
turn sonar.
cavitate.
We are cavitating.
Another launch transient's just come loose. Launch transient was from here. Fire a weapon on the bearing of the last known launch transient, which was right here. So firing point procedures, bearing 263, range 8,500 yards. Ship ready, tube ready, fire tube 3.
Shoot 2-3. Aye, sir.
Bring it back a little bit to there, and then we'll sever the weapon control.
Con, fire control. We've lost the wire.
Lost the wire anyway, that's fine. That should give him a run for his money, bastard. Priority is avoiding this incoming weapon. Difficult to say if he's coming straight towards me or not. Hard to judge.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 28 knots.
Can't I? Still tracking the target. I think we're out of the way of this torpedo. Bring us down to a head 2/3. 15 knots. 10 knots even.
Make turns for
Con, sonar, no longer cavitating.
15 degrees left rudder. And steady course. Okay. Oh, God. Hopefully after we sink
Con,
this guy,
torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
and I'm confident in our ability to sink this guy.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 1.
This guy's
0
tracking a
knots.
target. Is he? I'm pretty sure this guy's target tracking. Aha. Shallow surface hit. Something's blown up. That's a Romeo. No vessels nearby. We do have flooding, however, and there may be some more incoming weapons. Okay. No other close contacts have been detected. There we go. We just killed two enemy submarines without knowing where the fuck they were. Jesus. Well done, jeez. Now the other cat's back in here. Not the first one. No, the first one, not the second one, not the third one, but the first one. The first one's back now. Hello. What? What? What is it? You coming up? What? What? What is it? What are you looking at? You got filthy eyes again, creature. Ugh. Right. Awesome sailing, Submariner. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers, Lightbreed. Got two actively homing weapons somewhere out in the dark there. We've got 1, 2, 3. 3 enemy torpedoes still in play. Searching, searching, and circular search. I think all we do now is we go ahead flank.
Sonar, we are cavitating.
And we
sonar,
activate.
Switching to active search.
What we'll do, we'll come down to a head.
Make con sonar, no longer cavitating.
We'll go slow and we'll see if we get any return pings, just to make sure there's nobody else left nearby. If we get a return ping, because only military craft give return pings. So if we get a return ping, then there's definitely an enemy somewhere.
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 5.
Again,
knots.
ignore the red ones. It's the yellow ones we're after. Not getting any pingbacks. Doesn't mean they're not there, just means that they're not pinging us. I'll ping for just about another 30 seconds or so, and if not, no returns come back from that, then I think we'll call that, yeah, I think we'll call that sort of mission success. We'll come to the surface, we'll, you know, pump out our flooded tank, and, yeah, do all the rest. Just heard an explosion then, in the distance or something. Is it still 2 pings? Might be my spare weapon. Just, yep, still 2 pings. Very different degrees of attack now. Right. Silence active.
Con sonar, switching to passive search.
Okay, pretty safe that we've made it. So let's bring us up to the top.
Make turns.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
And let's bring us up to 100 feet.
Make depth 100 feet. Dive I.
Let's get away from this spread of weapons. No aircraft nearby? Samsar, how you doing, mate? Where did everyone come from, by the way? We had like a spike in viewers for like no reason. Like, what happened? Did we get a host or something? We had about like 300, and now we've got like 600. Like, I don't know where you all came from. Did I just miss someone? Did somebody hand you off to me? What happened? Decoy's still going. Yeah, that's it. Decoy doing its job nicely there. Right, damage control should start taking control of the flooding now, yep. Was it an auto host, was it? Excellent. I don't know, I just came home from work and had you subs.
0 feet. Dive I.
But I didn't give you 300 viewers. It's true. There was another explosion then, distant. Just heard the in the distance there. Queen Rarity, 300 bits, thank you very much. The fucking image placeholder there. Hello, Kudo. Setsuna. Thank you very much. Hello. I would give more, but I am broke. Hey, every little helps. Thanks all the same. Is full-time streaming a possibility in the future? It's a bit finicky. It's one of those ones. It's like, I probably could make more money off this in a day than my actual day job, because I only work in a shop. But at the same time, if you do this full-time, it absolutely shatters really any prospect of getting a better job in the future. And that sounds strange, because it's like, you basically... It does sound a bit weird, but like it's basically to do with the fact that yes, okay, fine, it shows that you're competent enough to make your own business, but literally your employment for let's say I go full time for like 6 years, right? And then maybe it falls through, maybe I don't know, maybe I video a dead body and put it on the internet, let's just say. And let's say it's no longer viable anymore. I then have to integrate back into the world of work. Any skills that I have are 6 years out of date. I haven't been in a job, so I'm not used to being, the bitch under management. You know what I mean? All of that stuff. Yeah, it's very difficult to reintegrate after that. So yeah, it's one of those ones. Serious question, how do you repair a flooded compartment? By going back to port. You can't do external repairs when you're out at sea, so we've got this problem until we eventually get given a permission to return to port. Topical, yes, very topical. And now cat number 2's back. Are you sure that's not just nerves? I don't know. Probably. But it's one of those ones. The reason is there's it's one of those ones. Like I don't have my own place yet. I'm 20 years old. I don't have enough to move out yet because house prices are crazy in the United Kingdom at the moment. And I could rent a place, but I don't really feel that comfortable. Like, for example, like house sharing. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. I don't really feel comfortable having a £2,000 gaming PC in a house sharing scenario. Do you know what I mean? Like, chances are it wouldn't even happen. But it's still that nagging thought. Like, all it takes is for the landlord to be a bit of an arsehole, have the key to my room, and then fuck it. You know what I mean? And all of the hilarity that you hear about house sharing and stuff like that. So it's one of those ones. I'm in my the folks' house. I'm in my mum and dad's house, and they don't like the idea of me doing this full time. Because they're old-fashioned. They're very old-fashioned, and they don't like the idea of somebody literally making a living by just... They're doing their hobby, basically. This is hobbycraft. Do you know what I mean? Like, some people will make, like nice candles, or maybe 3D print some stuff, or stuff like that. Something to make some handcrafted stuff, and some like arts and craftsy kind of thing, and then sell it on the internet, and maybe they could turn that into a business kind of thing. But for some reason, if it's on your computer, your parents just don't get on board with it, and it's totally viable because I could probably make about the same amount of money in a month on this as roughly I do working in a shop. So it's kind of like, ooh, well, one of those. Sino says you're a cunt. I can't disagree with him. He's got me spot on there. It's Calf. Oh, hello, Calf. I didn't even see that. I mean, if it's not for a position that is related to streaming, social media, then it can be helpful. It's true. A radio speak person. Start doing vlogs. God, yeah. Fucking hell. Do ASMR porn and erotic audiobooks. There's definitely room there. If you think about it, every craft and hobby there is... Yeah, it was. I suppose it was. I guess you're right. Then do it. What do you? It's because it's that they're like kind of they're very control freaky, my folks. They don't like the idea of it, and they get really butthurt if I try and explain otherwise to them. A lot of those ones are just like, oh yeah, you should just try and explain it. It's not that simple with mine. They're stubborn as oxes. They really are. I've tried having this chat with them in the past. Basically, the only reason I started live streaming was basically. Was just over 2-3 years ago now, when I originally started. And the ultimatum was that I would have to grow it. Like basically, we managed to hash out an arrangement with my parents, because that's the kind of relationship we have. You have to book an appointment with them. I basically said, like, we came to the agreement that I could go just part-time, just working in a shop or whatever, and then spend the rest of those spare days actually doing live streaming kind of thing. And I was given a year to try and make it my job. Now, anybody that's done Twitch for any amount of time or anything like that, or YouTube, will tell you that from 0 to hero, that is not enough time. 1 year. I mean, we had the channel grew at an incredible speed just because people already knew me from Womble's content. So the channel grew at a rate of knots. Cold Waters joke there. At an incredible speed, but it wasn't enough to make it my job. Like, in a year, we grew incredibly fast, but it wasn't fast enough. So the ultimatum came, the deadline arrived, and that was basically it. They basically said, right, you haven't done it. We're pulling the rug out from under you. That's it. Now you've got to go to work full time. And they were basically, that was it. That was the agreement, and I basically had to follow through on it. I think probably giving it another year at the time would, very easily have made it possible to do full time. But the problem was that once you take on sort of a full-time work, full-time contract, I'm sure many of you can testify that you just have no energy, at all. You wake up, you go to work, you get back, you sleep. Like, that's it. Doing like a fucking like 8 until 6, like a 10-hour, like an 8-9 hour shift as well. You get back and you just don't have it's very difficult to be animate and talk for that period of time after work. I mean, okay, if you want to, but literally it would just be me going, oh, yeah, shoot, it's up here. I'd just be dead. It's one of those ones. Maybe partnership between, it's one of those ones. Maybe the partnership could, maybe the partnership couldn't. They seem to be pretty solid on the standard. In fact, believe it or not, it's one of the reasons, literally, the folks who obviously own the place. I'm a lodger, if you like.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Oh shit, 25. Thank you very much, mate. Holy shit. Well, thank you very much. I work some 50, 60 hours a week, can confirm I'm dead at home. Exactly, yeah. Like that, and that's the thing. It's like, you get back and there's no energy for it. If you were to do it full time, then you could do it at your own pace, at your own speed, you're self-employed. Full-time fatigue feels, bro. Yeah, I know. And that's exactly the boat I'm in now. Like I say, I'm off until Saturday. I had a few days leave and a little bit of time in lieu, if you're old enough to know what that is. So I just decided to bundle that all together and say, right, I'm not coming in till Saturday. I'm off now. I have a day off in the week anyway, but I had a few days leave and a day in lieu, so I just thought, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'll just take the time off, put my feet up for a week, which is why I can live stream like this. But the reason that we have such long periods of radio silence on the channel, where I'll just disappear for a week, 2 weeks, is usually because I'm sort of working round the clock. And I just sort of get back, and while I do play games, I'm not really. When I play games, I narrate. I play. It's a single-player experience. That's how we do it. I do the thing, and you watch, kind of thing. Like The Long Dark, for example, and this, and L A Noire. You know what I mean? It's a very sort of verbal, entertaining kind of thing. I'd like to think that I entertain you to some degree. And this was sort of the to and fro with it. It's like, you really want to do it, but you've got no energy to, so you don't do it, and then that slows down the growth, and slowing down the growth doesn't help the argument, and it backwards and forwards and to and fro, and on it went. The channel definitely hasn't grown as quickly while I've been doing my full-time contract, for the simple time that we haven't been doing a full-time contract, but to put very simply, we make an incredible amount of viewers for the channel size that we have. And that's very genuine. Like, a lot of you people turn up when we do the live streaming. Get the cats, yeah. If we get a cat cam, we'll balloon out of control. But no, it's like, seriously, for the channel size that it's sort of the follower to concurrent viewer ratio. A lot of you guys sort of turn up pretty much every time, which is, I don't want to sound all cushy and say it's wholesome, but it is kind of wholesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice knowing that a lot of people sort of do come back, kind of thing. Like, for example, I'll hearken to somebody, probably a few, virtually everyone's heard of Sea Nanas, and everyone's heard of, and then most people have heard of Mr. Sark. And if you've heard of Mr. Sark, you've probably heard of APL Fisher, who did Machinery Inbox all those years ago. He live streams on Twitch, and he has about 70,000 followers on Twitch. A few more subscribers, no doubt. His channel is much, much older than mine. But he has 70,000 followers. We have, as of this recording, 34,500. But we make the same, really the same amount of viewers that we do to him. So we're less than half the size of his channel, but we make the same concurrent viewership, which is absolutely, like, mad when you think about it. So the Romeo and the Foxtrot were both undetected, but we sank them. And it was the mission target. Anyway, enough ranting. I think I've waffled on for like a quarter of an hour there.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's Kath with the $4.99. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Kath. Cheers, mate. Right, so submission update. Fine work in dealing with those boats, Commander. Your contribution to the war effort will make the transit for our convoys a lot safer, and supporting the troops on land, is what the Navy is about. Keep it up, Commander, and stand by for further orders. APL doesn't have a sexy voice.
Yeah.
And Battle Chicken as well. Thanks very much, man. Someone said calf. Grinds beans. So yeah, that's no problem. Thanks for coming in the least soppy way possible. I cannot believe that I'm 20. Yes, it's all written down in the thing, the About Me tab at the bottom. We've got 666 viewers. I will sell my soul to Satan after the stream here. So yeah, it's just one of those ones. Like, I really want to do it full time, but the problem is that, like, life obligations and things like that, and just the fact that I am a lodger in my parents' house. My parents don't want me to do this full time. And I mean, there is a degree of fuck 'em, you know what I mean? Like, you should just do it anyway, kind of thing. I wish it was as simple as that. I really do. And some people think, well, it is as simple as that. And to a degree, I'm trying to make it happen, but it's just not really feasible yet. Which is why I've been holding off on the partnership, despite being more than applicable for it, because you have to make 25 hours at least.
Yeah.
Special Ted, thank you very much, mate, as well. You have to make at least 25 hours of streaming a week, and we do. We used to do sort of an hour and a half and 2 hours, sort of every day, and I've been kind of trying to increase that. You'll have noticed that in the last sort of fortnight or the last month, we've had a lot more 3-hour streams, a lot more sort of 4-hour streams as well. We've had a few 4-hour streams, and the idea is to sort of bulk them out, make them longer, so that more people can drop in. The problem with a 2-hour window is that you kind of have to be there. But the longer the stream is, the more people can drop in at the time, and that's much more sort of fluid for everyone. That gives more people a chance to sit down and take a piece of the cake, if you like. So it's one of those ones. I'm trying to live stream for longer. The problem is, as well, is that I've got an incredibly short attention span, believe it or not. Once I get into a game, I'm really into it. But if I don't really get into the game, then my mind wanders very quickly, and sometimes we only stream for a short amount of time, unless I've got places to be. Anyway, why don't you go to unit? You a smart cookie. Don't believe it for a second. I'm as thick as pig shit. The voice is deceptively intelligent. Don't believe it. It's a trait of us English. We sound smart, we're not. Or at least some of us do anyway. Cash says, I mean, in all fairness, the schedule requirement for Twitch isn't 100% set in stone. They're very lenient on that, so to speak. Yeah. You know what? I suppose you're right. It's one of those ones. Freddie B, calling me out there. Cool. Well, I'll stop waffling on about me, what's going on there. Start a YouTube channel called Jogan Paul and make vlogs and sell merch, avoid dead bodies, profit. Yeah, exactly. Doing a vlog. Jeez. Okay, right. Well, that's it. I'm gonna love you and leave you. I think that about covers it. I've you know what I mean. I've done that bit. I've done the pedal segment. I've done the tier pedal segment for like the last 20 odd minutes or whatever, however long it's been. So yeah. Thanks very much for coming. I guess. A little bit of Cold Waters. We're going to be doing a little bit more of this. We took a bit of an extended break from Cold Waters. Again, for the reasons stated, and because we were playing a lot of The Long Dark recently. Going to be doing some more of this. It's one of those ones. I'm kind of waiting for the big update that puts us in I think in the South China Sea, the one that puts us on the other side of the globe, really. And yeah, I'm properly looking forward to that. A load of new submarines, new maps, new strategies. It should all be nice and good. I'm really looking forward to that, without the need for mods, which is nice. Because this, as good as this mod is, there are things that, like, just little things, like, you know, Comrade Captain. And the music not playing in certain places. Like, usually when I read out a newspaper report, there's some music to back it up. But because the mod breaks it, there isn't any music, and so on. So yeah, I will probably, I don't know, again, it really depends what happens this evening. If everything is as it should be, and we do manage to get a Divinity game going tonight, then I should be playing Divinity with Digby. If you know Digby, he's one of the ZF guys. Messi Essie, who I think is still perhaps lurking in the stream, and Social System, which is another sort of regular, well, at least on the ZF server anyway. We're all playing a Divinity Original Sin 2 game. We're a little bit of a way in, but, you know, we're still not that far. Like, I think we haven't even left Fort Joy yet, if you know what that means. Yep, on top of that, yeah, if that's not happening, then I'll probably be watching Womble's 40 Hammer 1000 stream. Butchered. Much. Right, so yeah, that's it. I'll love you and leave you. Did we get a medal? No medal, but I'll at least read you the newspaper clipping. The Wolves have been driven off 2nd of December 1984. Incidents involving attacks on transatlantic convoys by hostile submarines in and around the North Atlantic have rapidly diminished. An anonymous spokesperson suggested increased NATO submarine operations in the area are a contributing factor. However, the Pentagon has refrained to comment on submarine operations. Without the threat of attack from submarines, transatlantic crossings are becoming more efficient and suffering fewer losses. If this improved influx of supplies and war materials can be sustained, NATO forces will be in a position to take the fight all of the way to the Iron Curtain. And with that, I'm off. Hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Fingers crossed, see you tonight for some Divinity. And like I say, if not, you'll see me lurking around on Soviet stream at about 8 o'clock tonight, till about sort of 10:30, 11. So yeah, thanks very much, and I'll see you then. Bye.